Ladies and gentlemen, your host for tonight's show.
What is up, everybody? My name is James D. Fury, and this is Casual Friday. It's Casual Friday, and it's Saturday. This is the Saturday episode of Casual Friday. I had my daughter was with me for our new weekly event here at my house called Daddy Daughter Night, which is awesome. So I let her stay up late, so there was no podcast, but that was actually the best decision I could make, because I was dead tired, and it's fun hanging out with my daughter. We decided that we're going to create a cooking show because her and I make cookies together, and the magic ingredient in our cookies is the way she takes her little hands and shapes the blobs of cookie dough, and it's always in the perfect. If she doesn't do it, and this is true. So if I just make them by myself, I put it in the oven. They still taste great, but they bake into each other. But when Lizzie helps me, she shapes it. She turns it into like little meatball shapes or whatever, just by going like this. And they're perfect. They never touch because she's dope as fuck. Here with me to talk about that and a myriad of other issues is my friend Ryan Lindley, and the half that props Ryan up, her name is Ashley Lindley. How you doing, guys?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Are you
we
still?
were at-
Are you over vacation yet? Are you still sort of like there's no decompression you still have to do? No.
No, I think we're back to normal now because we were at a wedding even last night, right? Like we went to a friend's wedding last night, which was fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, I remember I texted you and I was like, try not to do a speech unless if you're casual James or casual Friday James drunk, and you said, "Sorry, man, too late."
Yeah, where the fuck were you 2 hours ago?
Well, who was first of all, who got married? And tell me about the speech.
Oh, there was no speech. That was just a joke. But Ashley
Okay.
can explain who the wedding was for.
It was a lovely friend of mine that I used to work with, and a gentleman that she met while I was working with her. So I'm friends with her, but like we're also friends with him. So I like to say that we're friends of the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, they're super sweet couple. So it was time. We were stoked for them.
Yeah. No, it was. If there's ever a match made in textbook, it was them, and it's. You could tell by the way the family spoke about them as well, and it was a perfect wedding. It was at the greenhouse.
Weather was amazing for it.
Tropical greenhouse at the at Gage Park in Hamilton, which was absolutely stunning. I haven't been there since they've renovated it. It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't know. A lot of people don't like weddings, but I love weddings. Do you like weddings?
Same.
Yeah, same.
I
I don't mind. I don't mind it. I get into the romanticism of it. I always make the joke about, hey, I love you so much. Let's get the government involved. But like whatever.
Oh, I'm not. I don't care about the love. I'm talking about the food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
married, so we're allowed to make the joke. Right?
Yeah, that's
But-
fair enough.
but they did they had the reception at the Royal Hamilton Yacht Club, which was really, I've never been to an event like that. I've been to the yacht club for like open public events, but I've never been there for a private event like this. And they have a space, and it's gorgeous. And the food, I fucking hate
Yeah, Ryan bitches at every event.
banquet food, like any sort of banquet food. I don't care who the chef is. It could be Marco Pierre White or Gordon Ramsay could be fucking cooking it. The food's going to be shit normally.
Yeah.
This was good, and it was hot, which is a very big plus when you're at a banquet setting, right? And it's like
Seriously.
everybody's getting served at the same time. Everybody's dishes were identical, same temp. Nobody had a complaint. Like I say, I'm the first one to. I won't complain to anybody like a Karen, but I'll complain to my wife, and I'll be like, "This is fucking garbage," like whatever. Yeah. And we've been to some pretty good places. Remember that we went to a work event for my grown-up job at Spencer's in Burlington, which is a gorgeous place.
Yeah, stunning.
And expensive as fuck, right? Like you spend good money to do anything at Spencer's on the waterfront. And the food, I would have rather had a steak from Montana's, like if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Like it was terrible. Yeah.
Very disappointing.
So thankfully, food was great. Party was great, and yeah, fuck, it was.
People were wonderful. Bartender was hilarious.
It was
really cool
great,
guy.
yeah. You always make that. You always make the first. The you make an impression, right? So we get there during cocktail hour, and we walked up.
That's a good
And
impression.
And
Just hear people booze. Yeah.
and I just made sure I animatedly put the $20 bill in his tip cup. I'm like, you and I are going to be friends tonight, my friend. What's your
You do
name?
this
His name
like
was
you do,
Pete.
like you would a lapel. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. His name was Peter. So shout out to Peter at the Royal Hamilton Yacht Club, the bartender. He was fantastic. Actually, all the staff was great.
Yeah.
Not a lot of smiles though. I noticed.
They were busy.
Nobody. I was laughing. I'm like, you're in a like the most happy occasion for this couple to their, and not one of the staff members were smiling, and I kind of found that a little shitty, but
I
like
know
whatever.
nobody was being rude, especially
No,
on
they
our
weren't
table.
rude.
Our table was lovely.
Oh
They
God.
probably have a
That's what I
shitty
mean, like,
boss.
it's not like anybody was being rude to them.
Let's talk about tables at weddings. Okay.
Okay.
So
We had a table.
how many weddings would you say you've been invited to, James? Just like rough ballpark.
I don't know, maybe 20.
As a guest, right? Like, so yeah, about 20, 25
I've
weddings, right?
I've been an MC at 2,
Yeah. Mhm.
and best man at 1, and then 17. Just I'm a guest. Or whatever.
on a guest, right?
Yeah.
So out of those 17 or whatever, have you noticed that the bride and groom took the time and the effort to actually put you at
Oh
the
my God,
right table?
I have been with the bride while she planned it. And there was so much politics embedded in the planning, and seat planning. And I was just like, why can't they sit together? They're like brother and sister. She's like, that's why they can't sit
That's
together.
why. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so politics aside, I mean, like, just like we'll say we're not acquaintances of, like, we're actually friends of theirs, but some of the people that were at our table were acquaintances, and I know, and we haven't talked about they're supposed to come over for dinner at some point this week, and I'm going to bring this up because I think it was kind of brilliant. I know that
what you did.
I know what you did. You
We don't
sat
mind at all.
you sat people that you knew were personable and funny, but they weren't like really a part of the in crowd. You sat them with us so that we could babysit them, make sure they had a good time, kind of a thing. That was the vibe we got. Like, it's like,
I know you'll be nice to them.
we're holding court at this table. So we said we're the table of shenanigans, right? Like, this is the shenanigans
yeah, we are
table.
the fun table.
We're the fun table. And we were. And it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. Like, we had a blast. I didn't even drink that much. That was the best part. Like,
I did.
she drank more than I did last night, which was funny. I was able to actually like, we Ubered everywhere with the intent of getting drunk at the reception. But by the time we got back, we brought the dog to her mom's. We dropped the car off at her mom's place, everything else. We were going to crash there for the night. We got back at like 12:30. I'm like, I'm good. I'm driving home. Let's just go home to our bed. Yeah, like I was drinking
And a
water for the
snuggle
last
puppy
2
the
hours. Like,
whole way home. La, la, la.
I hate sleeping in other people's houses. Like if they're not family or if they're not a good friend or something like that.
well, it was family, right? It's
Yeah.
my mother-in-law. It's Ashley's mom and dad and her brother, right?
Right.
So it would have been a blast. They had a bit of a plumbing emergency at the house though when we showed up, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah, they the one of the trains backed up. We got there and we found Chris, her brother, just shop vacuuming the shit out of the basement. We're
Which
like,
is where
what
we
the
were going to
fuck?
stay.
Yeah, so we're
And
like, you
that's
know,
the bathroom in the basement.
even better that we just went home, right? So, but
I
we had a
was-
great time.
That's good. I was the best man at a wedding once, and I just between the time of the ceremony and my speech, they went at the reception area. I can't remember where it was. There's this like venue near Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto,
Okay.
and it's sort of right beside it, literally across the street from Sick Kids. And anyways, really nice gardens and everything. And then on the inside, it's like this glass, kind of like I don't know, whatever. It looks like a greenhouse, kind of. And so my speech is in like 10 minutes, and I walk into the bathroom, and they have one of those guys there with the like that hands you the towel and has the
I hate
cologne
that.
and all that kind of
I
stuff.
fucking hate that.
So I went to the bar and I was like, "Excuse me, I'm the best man. Can I?" You know what's so funny? Being the best man is like having a pylon. Having a pylon. One of the ways I got my overnight guests to be able to sleep in my house in Toronto was I would get 2 pylons and put them in front of in front of my house where the parking spot is.
Yeah.
And then when he'd get there, I just take the pylons away because for some reason there's a magic with the pylon.
We used to
Same
do
thing
that
with-
too on Algoma when we lived there. Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with the best man label. You can get away with anything at a wedding. I'm the best man, can I? And whatever it is, they'll give
Yep.
it to you. So I asked them for one of their gold trays, and if they could also give me 3 or 4 packs of Splenda. And then I
God.
told the man I told the man what I was doing, and I walked into the bathroom and I took the Splenda out and I chopped up some lines and I put it in front of him. And then he held it up and pointed at it as if to say, "You want some of this?" And I took a picture and gave it to the DJ who was also doing audio visual. And I was
Yeah.
like, you know, the one thing I can rely on for Dan when he's getting married is that he knows how to treat his guests with
Oh my
respect
God.
Oh my God.
and dignity. And I flashed the thing on, and the guy that they hired is pointing to the cocaine on the tray or whatever.
That's
But it brought the
absolutely
house down.
priceless.
And then two of my older friends that have some issues
Cocaine addictions
immediately took a beeline to the bathroom.
to the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you triggered a response out of that.
Well, you do what you know, right?
so being the Royal Hamilton Yacht Club, we had this conversation Ashley and I last night, and it's a very nice place. Like it is, and it's like the snobs of Hamilton, if you want to call it that. We do have, you know, certain places that have money and they have yachts, so they are members of the yacht club.
I told you, my uncle Reginald C. Yachtington.
Yes, right. Reginald C. Yachtington
Has a yacht
III
there.
was there. And so we were, and this is probably about 10 o'clock at night, and we were seated near the doors of the hall, we'll say. Was a perfect kind of spot. It was like a good catbird. You can see the whole thing. We had a great view of everything. We were close enough to the bar. Everything was great. Well, while we're standing there, there's these three guys that must have been probably early 20s that
Oh, yeah.
showed up in fucking boat shoes,
Board shorts.
board shorts, stupid fucking collared shirts, and
And a bare naked hat.
but what's these? No, what's with the fucking mustaches with kids now? Like what are they called now? Zennial? What do you call kids now?
I don't know.
Whatever a 20-year-old's called now. They have like the Tom Selleck mustache thing going on, and like they just look like uber douche, like just uber douchebags, right? And they're standing and they're kind of milling around the front, the entrance to the hall. So this is where it's like, okay, old Ryan and new Ryan, there's two different people. So old Ryan wouldn't have taken into consideration, this is your friend's wedding, this is their special day. Never, ever, ever do anything to upset the vibe of the room. And I would have went over and fucking thrown them out myself, right?
Because
Like
the vibe was great. In
these were just yacht club kids. And I was like, fucking, like, I would love to fucking just smash you into the fucking wall, right? If you're trying
Who
to
were
sneak
they
into
in
this.
relation to the kids?
Nobody,
The people getting married?
nobody. They were,
Oh,
they
Strolled
came
in
from
from
the
the
yacht
other
club
side.
downstairs.
Oh,
right?
well, fuck
So-
you. Get out.
That's exactly.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
So I don't want to start anything, right? So there's somebody else at our table, which as the night went on, got progressively and more progressively drunk and fucking more obnoxious. That
He took taking the fun table to the next level.
yeah, it was
That sounds
too
like
much.
17 weddings to me.
Yeah, pretty much,
It was
right?
supposed to be the fun table.
So I said, fuck that. I said, so this guy that was with us, he's like, I'm going over there. And this guy, there's no way he wouldn't have fought his way out of a wet paper bag. He was a big dude, but you can tell the guy was just jello. Like,
There's no fighting him.
He would have got tuned by three fucking 20-year-olds.
I'm surprised
So-
because you just sounded like he was tough. Oh, fuck.
No,
Over there. That
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
sound like a wimp.
Well,
He was talking
yeah,
tough.
he sure was talking it, right? So his wife was telling him to shut the fuck up and to listen to me because I said, I've got an idea.
That's always nice for that guy. You know. it's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh no, his wife had nothing.
Flashback.
She wanted nothing to do with him. And by the end of the night, she's like, you're out of control. And like, he even warned us at the table. Oh, last wedding we were at, my wife couldn't fucking stand me, and I was a piece of shit. Blah blah blah. And sure enough, he turned into the same guy that he kind of warned us he was going to be. So I'm
To
like,
be
What
fair,
that guy
he did
needs
tell
is a
us.
divorce. That's what.
So, yeah. Well, he needed to leave the fucking wedding. Is what he needed to just put the drink down. I told him, I said, don't fucking move. I told his wife, I said, you keep him fucking here and don't let him anywhere near those kids, or else this is going to start into something that I don't
Nobody
want.
wants to
Nobody
see.
wants this at a wedding. Like, leave it alone. So I went and got the staff, and I said, those kids don't belong here. Can you please ask them to leave? So we were there to be able to like listen to it. But I'm thinking to myself, if I was 10 years younger, I would have totally fucking tuned those kids. I would have just been like, no, you got to go. And they would have said, fuck you. And they would have got fuck you out. And then there would have been blood. And it would have been like, we're in a fucking wedding. Like, I'm ruining somebody's day. I wouldn't have had a second thought. Now, as I get older, it's like, no, don't do that because you're going to ruin somebody's special. And sure enough, it ended up being a picture perfect day. The staff ushered them out
Excuse
back
me,
to
can
their
my friend
fucking
get
little
out?
self-entitled little fucking corner of the yacht club, and they never came back. So
See, those are the white people
growing up,
that other white. Those are the white people that white people like us hate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
that's why I
God.
always. That's why when people talk about reverse racism and stuff like that, they shouldn't just call it that. But we should gently remind
Where
people.
the fuck did that come from?
No, I'm just saying because that is the white people that ruin it for the rest of us white people. I guess I would say. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like
Word.
yeah, and
Well,
it's, and
and-
it
I'm
is
in a
awful.
Facebook group that's called "I'm White, but I'm not that white."
Yeah, and let me tell you, it was an interracial marriage, and
Oh, great.
yeah, you know what I mean. So like there was a fucking fantastic mix of both sides of black and
Yeah.
white, and it was the best party and the best wedding. That's why I didn't drink so much. I was having a good time without having to get drunk.
Yeah, because
The
white
people
people
were-
make you drunk, make you want to drink. That's
Yeah,
why.
because you get pissed off at them. I'd rather go. I think that's what it is. I'd rather go to just a black wedding from now on.
Can you excuse me
They
for
were-
a second?
They were the
'Cause
most lovely people in the world. Yeah,
Sure.
go ahead.
I just watched The Big Lebowski, and now I want to make a White Russian, but I don't know what's in it.
It's
Well,
a
you have
Kahlua
Google.
vodka and milk. That's it.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, Kahlua
I just
vodka
watched The
and
Big
milk.
Lebowski, and I was like, I want to taste that. I've never had a White Russian
See,
before.
see, I'm a
I'll be right
black
back.
Russian guy.
What's in that, Ryan?
Kahlua and vodka, no milk.
No milk.
Yeah, you just do the Kahlua and vodka back and forth. Anyway,
Milk is gross. So
well, especially in booze, I've never understood people putting milk in booze unless it's like a coconut milk or a coconut cream or something
that
like a pina
the
colada,
coconut cream.
right?
Oh,
And it's
know
not
what?
really dairy, obviously.
You know what
So,
we didn't do was look to see if we could find that on Amazon after we had a hard time finding it.
well, we can do that when we're not on the air.
No, because those were some of the best drinks that we've ever had, and we would want to recreate them at home.
That's true. They were really good.
Just saying.
We did. We settled though because we found the coconut cream spot in the grocery store, but it was empty. So we ended up getting the Mott's mix shit, and it was
no.
it was okay
Yeah, we can definitely buy that online.
on Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. There's more of our liver getting damaged more and more.
Oh,
Can you
no.
move your mic so that it's not blocking your face?
It's always in my face.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
Just where it sits.
Okay. Yeah, because every time you like move your head, all
If
I can
I
see
were
is a.
taller, it would probably be helpful.
All I
but
can see is a-
I'm not that tall.
I wonder if we can move your camera. Let's do that.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Where's Charlie? Show everybody Charlie.
I think we can do it like this.
Oh.
It's a little better. Yeah. Now I can see you twiddling your thumbs. No. Yes. No.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. We can move it again.
I don't know. I don't know. If
You're too far away from this camera. That's the problem, I think. Oh, you know what we could do? Let's do this. What if we put it here? That way, now it's not in. Now the
your face.
Yeah, the microphone doesn't change anything. That's better.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And then when you look at me, it actually looks like you're looking at the camera,
Oh
right?
my god.
Oh my god.
You're a wizard.
It's almost like I'm a wizard.
You're special.
You can see your nuts on here though now. Your nuts are on the camera.
My nuts.
I can see your nuts. Okay, I was just kidding. You can leave your nuts there. It's fine.
Talk about my nuts.
Gonna get thrown off YouTube.
I wonder how James's drink turned out. He just popped back and now he's gone again.
He must have missed something. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the black Russian. Oh my god, with a maraschino cherry in it. Oh my god, that's a good drink.
See, now I can understand why the milk goes in there though. It sounds desserty.
Well, it is. It's definitely a dessert drink. Like you can't drink those all night. My uncle used to drink them all night long.
I kind of want one now.
It's just coffee liqueur and vodka, and it's it's delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What I used to do, because I'm a fucking savage, is I would put Bailey's in with it. So you'd have so instead of the milk, so it'd be like a cream or I don't know, a tan Russian.
Oh, I ordered you one of those.
While we were in the resort. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I totally remember ordering.
Yeah.
that. That's right.
Yeah, it was great.
That's a
Skip
thing.
the vodka.
Just Kahlua and milk.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing the traditional James.
That's what I was drinking when I was like 11.
Okay. Man card revoked, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
No, it's good. We were just talking about like different iterations of it. I used to grab instead of a white Russian because I don't like dairy in alcohol. But what I would do, and it's still technically dairy, is I'd put Bailey's, like Irish cream. I do Kahlua, Bailey's, and or a Kahlua, Bailey's, and vodka, and it was really good.
So
At Christmas
maybe we can
time-
invent the Black Russian and just use chocolate milk. Would that work?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah,
It's all
well, that
sweet,
is a
right?
Black Russian is without any milk. It's just the Kahlua and vodka. But have you ever
It'd still
had?
be a brown Russian.
Are you a fan? And you're probably going to say no. I know you, but you're not a fan of eggnog, are you?
No, but funny enough, I've only had one. I mean, I don't think I've ever even tasted it since I was like a teenager or something. But then someone at an event in LA once, it was like right after Christmas, and they still had some left, and they created some concoction, and I was just like blown away at how good it was. But I have no idea what was in it. It was discolored a little bit. It was actually a little lighter, so I don't know what they did with it, but it was delicious. But overall, yeah, you know me pretty well. I'm not. taking
Yeah,
eggnog.
I kind of figured, but so I made
gross.
I made up a drink back years ago, and it was in a bar that we used to hang out at. Back, it's closed now. It was like an old Krabby Joe's franchise establishment, but our buddy was the GM there, so we used to eat and drink for free there all the time. And
That wasn't the one in Welland, was it?
no, it was one in Hamilton, right by the Link in Upper James, and our buddy Gus used to run it. So I made up a drink one Christmas, and they don't like play because, and again, because it's a chain, they won't carry eggnog just in case there's a problem, right? So you can't get, yeah, no, it's fucking hilarious. It's like, we're so scared of getting sued, we're not going to allow you guys to have eggnog here. So I'm like,
Eggnog's like the Nickelback of beverages. right?
so I said, fuck this. So I look at my friend Mark, this is Mark Leone, and Mark and I said, let's run down to the 7-Eleven, grab a thing. It was Christmas time. Let's grab a thing of eggnog, and then we'll have it for ourselves at this bar because I've got an idea for a drink. And what we did was I called it a muddy omelet, and it was like it was a Black Russian but with eggnog in it, and you mix it up. So now if you go on Google and you type in muddy omelet drink, I'm credited on a bartender's website for
Really?
inventing this drink. And I didn't do it. Like, somebody else has put it up because I made it and everybody loved it. So everybody started doing it, and like it became like a local thing, right? And then somebody must have like submitted it to a bartender's website thing, and it's delicious. And I'm now
got
credited
Ryan's
with
name
it.
on it,
It's called a
yeah.
muddy omelet.
Well, congratulations. It's too bad
Thank
it's
you.
like the only type of product that one can create and not have a trademark or patent on it,
Pretty much, right?
which sucks, eh? Like,
Well, and they don't even say, I don't even know if they say Kahlua. I think they just say coffee liqueur, vodka,
Yeah, fair.
and eggnog, which whatever. As long as people are drinking it, I don't care. Like, if you like it, good. If you think of my name when you drink it at Christmas, Merry
cool
Christmas.
too, yeah.
every time I drink that Spoo-like beverage, I'll think of you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorites. Eggnog in this house. It's like the most safe thing in my fridge.
all
Nobody
for
will
you.
ever touch it. There's
Yeah.
two things that will never go away in this fridge.
Christmas has a few
Fish.
of those, though, right?
What's that?
Christmas has a few of those. There's eggnog. Who do you know that likes fruitcake?
I do.
Really?
If it's
Yeah.
listen, if it's done really, really well, I find it slides off the plate easy into the garbage. It's great. Like, if it's done really well, like if you can just like dump it right into the trash
I
right
like
away.
a slice of fruitcake with a cup of tea, and it's not terrible.
Yeah, it is.
So is,
I
it, is
just-
it one of those? Sorry,
I
go
like
ahead,
the
Ashley.
candied fruit that's in it. That's all it is. I like that candied fruit. So
Oh, that's exactly what it
I love nuts in baking. So
And
it's,
molasses bread.
yeah. So if that combination of
So you
things,
like fruitcake?
I really don't hate. So as long as it's like it's not like dry and crappy, I really enjoy it.
Okay. Well, maybe I just need to find the right one. But
Do you like panettone as an Italian?
See, that's disgusting.
Do you like
I like-
panettone?
Panettone.
the half Dutch side of me is responsible for not knowing what that is.
It's almost like a fruitcake. It's like Italian fruitcake,
You
but
always
it's
see
but
them
it's
in the
not.
dome
Yeah, they're in a big dome.
boxes with the ribbons on top.
Yeah,
No,
at
I
Christmas
don't know.
time.
You should have
Yeah,
powdered sugar on top of them typically. Serve it with like
Mm,
fruit,
I
cream.
have a faint memory of what it might be, but
It's so dry. Like, it is the driest thing on
you
the
have to
planet.
have something to drink with it, or else you'll choke.
I don't think I'd like
it's
that.
it's
Yeah.
like 10,000 saltine crackers in
wow.
a cake. That's how dry
Pretty
it
much.
is for your mouth.
That's awful.
It's
That doesn't sound-
disgusting.
But
I
once
don't like-
once you
yeah.
moisten it with some sort of a drink, it's actually
Yeah, get
it's
you a
actually good.
coffee
Like, it's
and
Oh,
some
nice.
is that the shit they soak in rum?
I don't think so.
No, that's
No? Okay.
that's a rum cake. That's a different.
Oh, that sounds logical. You know, but yeah, no, I've never had that. I hate candied dry fruit. I don't like it.
I love that shit.
My favorite cake is a hazelnut tort. That's my favorite.
Oh,
kind of
that
cake.
is good.
Sounds
My
nice.
mom
Oh,
made
yeah.
the meanest hazelnut tort when I was a kid. And I don't know, like where she got her culinary skills for that particular item, but it's so dope. The icing or whipped cream or whatever is just so good.
Really?
She
Eh?
used and she used like interesting things to moisten it and everything. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm not really like a candy or cake kind of guy overall. A chocolate, I'm a chocolate fiend. If I was a reincarnated as a woman, it would be clear sailing because I love chocolate.
Yeah. So
Chocolate's
your
great.
only sweet tooth is chocolate.
Yeah, I can't stand candy. Lollipops.
See, I'm the other way
and
around.
fucking all that other shit. Really?
I'm the other way around. I like hard, artificially flavored, fruity fucking candies.
That sounds
Gummy
so gay.
gummy worms, fucking sour
Yeah,
shit.
Ryan loves
That's
jam
my
candy.
thing. That's my jam. Like but chocolate I do like. Don't get me wrong, but I would take a bag of like Sour Kids over a fucking like a premium chocolate bar.
And when you do get a chocolate bar, you're like, "Ooh, I got a fruit and nut bar."
Fruit and nut bar, yeah, those are really good.
Yeah, you get excited for those.
I used to work at Godiva, and I felt like Homer Simpson in that episode where he went around the land of chocolate.
Yes.
Really good. Dude,
Did you ever do anything like obscene when you were there? Like when it
Never.
came to the chocolate? Like no,
Fuck
no,
you,
I
never.
don't mean like I don't mean that obscene. I mean like
No.
where like nobody's looking. I'm like I'm gonna take a ladle and just fucking hork it into my mouth, kind of thing.
No, we had spoons for that because our boss said like, look, you're sitting beside a cauldron of melting Godiva chocolate all day long.
Yeah,
Use the plastic spoons. And I'm like,
you're
okay.
gonna want
That's
some. Yeah,
reasonable.
There were so many good, like, I mean, I don't know what they compared to like really, really fancy chocolate, but Godiva's pretty dope. Like
Mhm.
they had like dozens of different kinds, and like it was just it was the greatest because my girlfriend at the time, I'd come home with like this entire gigantic box of it, like every day was Valentine's Day kind of thing. I don't
yeah.
remember why I got fired, but it was something.
Yeah, I'd love that. Oh my
Never
God.
cared for chocolate. I wouldn't say I don't care for it. I it's not my go-to, but I still do have a love for it.
I found you making love to a peanut butter cup the other
Oh
night.
God, yeah. Oh, especially,
what?
yeah, me.
heard
Oh
me.
my God, peanut butter and chocolate is like the.
Oh, that's my
You
favorite thing in the
obliterated
world.
it. One go.
you can't beat those two things. Like combination for
Oh, 'cause
dessert
it's
flavors.
Salty. and
100%.
sweet.
I totally
Ah.
agree. Like go ahead.
It's like that freaking that pie they do. That thing at the keg
Yeah,
with all
the
nuts
miner's
and
pie or
chocolate.
whatever.
Oh, it's so good.
What's it called?
Oh, I can't think of it right now, but it's got like slivered almonds and shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's good.
Ashley makes a fucking killer a peanut butter pie, and it's made out of like this. She takes the peanut butter and like whips it with, is it cream cheese?
A little bit of cream cheese, but
Lots of Cool Whip,
Cool Whip.
just to get it airy and
Whip.
to get it airy and fluffy, so that it like goes into a graham cracker shell, and then she tops it with mini
peanut butter
Reese
cups.
peanut butter cups, and
Oh
then
my
drizzles
God, that
it
sounds
with fucking liquid chocolate on top of that. Dude, it's diabetes on a plate,
It's
and it's
really good.
fucking delicious.
But you serve
Perfect.
it like super chilly. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
because it kind of solidifies a little bit, but it's not like peanut butter texture. It's got
Nice.
like a
It's very smooth. It's
So good.
It's like a freezer. It's no bake, right? It's like a freezer pie, like a fridge pie,
yeah,
Yeah.
like a pudding pie.
Pudding pie.
Yeah.
so goddamn.
Yeah,
good.
chocolate and
You
peanut butter are amazing. I take organic chocolate or organic peanut butter, and I just open like those. What are they called? It's actually by Nestle, but it's like real dairy chocolate ice cream is my
Yeah.
favorite.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll just open up because now I don't have a wife, right? So now I just open up
Word.
the ice cream container, and I take my spoon and I drizzle it on top, and I eat. Drizzle more, eat. Drizzle more, eat. Realize I'm now 15 pounds heavier by the time I'm done. It's so
Ryan has a
dope.
wife, and he would do that.
Yeah, I'd still do it with you in the house. I wouldn't care. I got no shame. I did a thing like when we first started dating. I
still
showed.
have the picture.
So I've got. Oh, you do? Oh, okay. All right. Good. So I used to. So when I was like 550 pound, Ryan, there was a reason for that. It was because of the weird concoctions that I would make, and I still to this day love this. This is one of my favorite things in the world to do.
Does it like maybe once or twice a year? So
Yeah.
it's acceptable.
Listen to this. You're gonna fucking love this. Do you like corn pops? The cereal corn pops. It's like my favorite. I think we lost James. He's frozen.
He looks super chill though.
No, he did. You know, see, I told him stop going into the computer and doing things because
Stop
as soon as he
doing
uses
stuff.
the internet for something else, he leaves.
Put it in the chat and tell Ryan to do it.
Anyway,
Ryan will do it. God.
so what we do.
Oh my God, he's back.
So what I would do? Do you like corn pops? Like the cereal?
No.
Okay, see, I love corn pops, and I don't know why. Like what it is, it's just so basic and simple and fucking good, right? So there's two flavors I love. It was corn pops and it was. Oh, you got it too. Okay, send it to me. Oh, or just show it. So this is me when we first started dating. In front of the microwave with a mug, and what I would do is I would throw like 2 or 3 big things of peanut butter into the mug and throw it in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to get it soft, and then I would dunk a bunch of fucking corn pops in it and then just start scooping it out. And it was delicious. See, now you fucked your camera.
I know.
Oh no, you're good. Look at that. It actually worked this time. No, I was talking about hers. Yeah, no.
Okay.
But yeah, corn pops and peanut butter, quite possibly one of the best combinations I've ever found in my life.
I shouldn't say I don't like corn pops. I have not eaten them since I was a child, and I did like them then, but it's not something that I seek out.
There it is. There it is. Cassie Lake had the name Billy Miner's Pie.
That's the one.
That's the one from the keg.
Billy Miner's
Yeah.
pie.
That's
Yeah, it's like a peanut butter fucking explosion. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I miss
I'm
going
gonna
to the
find
keg.
I'll find a picture of it.
Sorry,
I like
what'd
the
you say,
keg.
James?
I like
Yes,
the
so do
keg. Yes, it's pretty dope. I had a friend that
I'm a
worked there
fan.
for like 15 years, and I used to go to her company parties, and they were amazing. A keg company party is the dopest place you will ever go for the food. Like it's outstanding. But I used to
see
like
it.
their baseball steak. You remember their baseball steak?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was my favorite because they were like, I loved their copy for it on the menu.
Son of
They
a
were like,
bitch.
so thick, we can only cook it medium rare. And I was like, oh, okay. That's good. And it
Oh
was
no,
delicious.
it's terrible.
How dare.
Do you like
Look at this
tri-tip
thing.
steaks?
Yeah, I love
I-
tri-tip.
Man, those are the most economical steaks ever. And you can
Right
cook
now
it
they're on sale at Fortino's.
Right now.
That's our steak booths that we call them. It's tri-tip.
booths.
It's so
If you
good.
cook it right and you cut the way you're supposed to in the 3 sections of the tri-tip,
Yeah.
because a lot of people think it's tough, and you like turn the steak and then cut it. It'll be tender, right? Because what is it? Is it against the grain that you do it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, it's against the grain for tender if you want a tender cut. But look at this thing. You ready? Ready to look at this? I'm gonna
I'm
put
ready.
something on. This
Hold
is
on. Should I get the
pornographic.
lotion and tissues or?
Yeah, because this is pornographic. Like this is fucking pornographic. This is a Billy Miner pie from the keg.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that a cheesecake?
Yeah, is it? Yeah, it's like a cheesecake, but it's not like it's more peanut butter forward than it is cheese, and it is.
That looks delicious.
It is the dirtiest slut you'll ever put in your mouth. I swear to Christ.
No,
Like
no.
I
It's
love.
Oreo pie crust, coffee flavored ice cream, hot fudge, and almonds
Not-
and caramel.
Oh, it's not. So it's not a cheesecake.
No.
Oh, okay. So it's ice cream, even better.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ice cream cake.
Oh,
This
is it?
thing is-
Absolutely
yeah.
die for.
This thing is it slaps. Oh, I want
That
one
looks
now.
delicious.
And I just saw it while I was googling it. There's like copycat recipes, so maybe we'll try that tomorrow. You want to try and make it?
Of course.
All right, watch our Twitter. Maybe
Oh, I'll
we'll
kill
make
it.
it for tomorrow. Ashley,
that
Ashley
picture-
nails it.
That picture reminded me, even though it's not a cheesecake, it's an ice cream cake, of the famous Cheesecake Factory in Washington D.C. Holy crap!
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
had a pumpkin cheesecake there that was just like the greatest thing I've ever had, and I did have a chocolate peanut butter cheesecake there as well. But like, it was so good, and it's like a block away. I was staying at this hotel near the White House. This was like in between the White House and where I was staying. Holy crap, dude! Like you walk in there, there's about 20 different cheesecake options just like sitting in the fridge in front of the lady or whatever, and you're just like, and they give you samples. I'm like, I need to taste
Who
something
am I?
here. Like, I need to know what I'm getting myself into. And I got 3 types of cheesecake, and I ate them all that night, and then I felt really shameful. As soon as I was done. Oh, they were so rich.
Yeah, I tapped that too.
I just found
Yeah.
a picture of my peanut butter pie.
I'm with you.
Oh my
So-
god, I thought you were saying something else there for a second.
Yeah, Ashley, I'm telling you, the one that Ashley makes, and it's when you think about it, it's really simple, and people are always like, oh, you know,
Well, that won't help.
I always give the credit to Ashley when it comes to food in this house. Like, yeah, I do an okay job, but the sides and the desserts that she comes up with are fucking magical. And I'm not a dessert guy, right? Like I never have been, but the stuff that she can churn out with just like an idea, and then all of a sudden it's in front of you, and it's like every flavor that you can think of. So good.
Yeah,
I like-
it's
I
good to
like
have a
the
baker
corn
in the family.
muffins. I'm very proud of my corn muffins. That's a thing.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
really working on for a couple of years.
But what actually we were, as I was pulling that picture, what makes me even more excited? And you're an ice cream guy, right, James?
Yeah, chocolate only though.
All right.
Not
I'm-
well. I mean, I'll have vanilla ice cream with if it's appropriate with what I'm eating. But like, I'm a chocolate guy through and through. Like, yeah, vanilla.
I had no idea they were doing this.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you can actually get it in an ice cream.
Hello.
I've never seen it.
A little bit of Ben and Jerry action in a sense. Although I
Yeah.
hate Ben and Jerry's ice cream though. It's not. It
You're not a
doesn't have
fan?
that richness. It doesn't. It's like I have expensive taste when it comes to ice cream. I like
Yeah.
like that real dairy is actually one of the most expensive tubs of chocolate. And then I like Haagen-Dazs. I think Haagen-Dazs is dope. And once you take if you could take chocolate ice cream from Haagen-Dazs and then taste it next to like what's that company I just Ben and Jerry's?
Ben and Jerry's.
It
Yeah.
is like not even the same product. Like it's not
Yeah.
close to being as good. So
Fair.
Yeah.
there's no point in eating cheap ice cream. Like the Napolitan ice cream, whatever it's called, is just
I sent
like
it to you.
why can't they just make ice cream that's vanilla on one side and chocolate on the other? Why do you got to put strawberry in there? Like no one likes the strawberry ice cream.
The strawberry is my favorite part.
Get out of here! Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you eject yourself?
It's funny because I would rather eat the strawberry and the vanilla, and I would leave the chocolate alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and I like chocolate. I just don't love plain chocolate ice cream. Like it's got to have something like swirled through it or going on with it.
Oh, do you remember these?
Yeah, that was the thing that you were being a dink about. Like funny, you were all like, "Hey, I bet you can't make this." Remember?
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I made it the next day.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's
and
what I
you've
did.
never made them ever since, and you need to do this tomorrow, I think,
Okay.
along with the Billy Miner pie. Yeah, we're apparently Ashley's going to be very busy tomorrow. She made these, and these were, what were
Oh
they
my.
actually? What were
Are
they
those
called? It was
chocolate
just-
peanut butter brownies or something?
Yes, yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but then the top is like a crispy bar. Like it's got the Rice Krispies in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
so they're like
it's like-
crunchy.
So it's like a
So it has
crunch bar on
acoustics
top.
as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's got mids, bass, and treble,
Yeah, it's all about
That trouble is trouble.
and and
Yeah,
diabetes.
It's a peanut butter brownie, and then there's peanuts on top of it. And I think they were honey roasted peanuts because I'm a jerk like that. And then it was the crunch bar on top.
God damn, those were good.
Thick.
I remember this.
You demanded that the crunch bar top be double thick.
Yeah, I did.
See,
actually.
I could imagine eating that with vanilla ice cream or possibly like something
It
like
was
that.
it was filthy. I must
Yeah,
say.
and that was one of those you can only like eat like a square that's this
Mm-hmm.
big because it was so rich.
it was thick.
You would have made yourself sick eating it too, like a big crazy chunk of it. Oh fuck, I want
It
it
was
now.
something.
Can you go? Do we have the stuff in the house? No, shit.
Oh, now you got a job to do tomorrow
do
to embarrass Ashley yet another grocery store.
We could.
He was good today.
I behaved today. I wasn't a day. Well, yeah,
were
it's because we didn't spend a whole lot of time together in there. You
That's
went
true.
and did your own thing.
and you were on a mission.
Yeah.
Oh, those little tarts that I made last year. Look how friggin' cute those were.
Yeah, somebody brought up Ashley's butter tarts. She hasn't made those
But I
since
made
the
them-
food truck
fruit
event.
tarts that I made. Those were gorgeous.
Yeah, no, she
Over
hasn't
the
made.
years, I've gone through so many tarts. It's not even funny.
All the tarts, bud. What life's all about.
What else is going on, Jamesy? Did you have a good week? I know we were kind of like I don't want to blow a load or
Please
like,
don't.
throw
Jesus.
the whole nut here, but I know we were waiting on some things. You got a guest that is possibly coming next week, or
Alka Pradan is coming next week.
that's right.
She is one of the most renowned human rights attorneys focusing entirely on Gitmo detainees. And she just
I'm
wrote and
so
submitted.
excited for that.
She just submitted and wrote. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I swear to God, I think she's I like
She's heroic. She's really. I've had her on before.
Yeah.
She kind of like. She looks like Althea Raj, kind of like she's like
Yeah.
very very pretty and also very smart and everything. I would put smart before pretty before I get emails, but she represents. His name escapes me, but he was the detainee that was depicted in Zero Dark 30.
yes.
That's who that character was based upon. And she just submitted a briefing to the Supreme Court about the treatment of detainees at Gitmo. The whole thing about that, by the way, what other country on the planet could ever get away with like this long-term lease of land on an adversarial nation's land? And it's a lease in perpetuity, so they'll have it forever, in order to give them cover for not having to answer to international courts on whatever goes on there. It is the most mind-blowing like case of hypocrisy I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But you know, and a lot of the people that they brought to Gitmo weren't even terrorists. They were paying warlords like X amount of money per head, and the warlords would just oftentimes grab peasants, and tell the Americans these are terrorists. You know, that wasn't exactly the case with her client, but it was also the case that, you know, I think one of his uncles was a terrorist or something like that, but he didn't actually do anything himself, right?
Yeah.
And so, and he's gotten like, you know, obviously he's been there 20 years or something, man. Like
at Gitmo.
Yes. Like more than half his life. I think he was 19 or something when he was.
It's not the nicest place in Cuba to be.
You know, the food might be just as good because I heard the food in Cuba sucks, but you know, but yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
So anyway, so she's just submitted a briefing for her case in front of the Supreme Court. I think it just outlines all of the habeas corpus infractions and the lack of recognition in international law, and whether or not, you know, what he's been subjected to would actually be considered illegal internationally. Most experts think it would, and then we'll see if this man is ever going to be released. You know, so you know, it's an interesting time to have her on, and I kind of can't wait. David Wallace was also supposed to be on the show yesterday, but the press progress story, which I'm now allowed to talk about, I talked to the writer.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is so he's doing a big story. You know what? Before I get into it, let me just see if I can invite David to the show.
Oh.
And if he doesn't show up in 10 minutes, then I'll spill the beans myself. Oops, where am I going? But anyways, some background of that. Well, I already did that. I did a whole show on it where we didn't say anything. So
that's why I'm wondering, like, is he going to actually say anything this time, or?
Yeah, well, he should. He's not pleased with press progress at the moment, but we won't really get into that. He's, you know, he's the source of another story that involves, you know, his own actions, but more importantly, the actions of others.
Yeah, like he was the source that was explaining the subjects of the story, and that's kind of where oh yeah, see, he did it again. The minute he goes on the internet, we're done. Elon Musk internet up north in Ontario is not that great, folks. Just so you know. Yeah, he'll be back. And Ashley left me too. I don't know what, like, do I talk about peanut butter pie again? Like, what do I do here? See, you keep leaving me vamping. I've got something that's coming up possibly soon. I can't talk too much about it, but there's a new podcast coming, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I've alluded to the person that I was talking with. Well, I actually met them in Mexico, and they're from the UK, and we got to talking one evening this week about doing something fun and doing something internationally as a podcast. So actually having a co-host that is not from the same country as here, and sitting like we would in a pub and try to solve all the world's issues on a podcast. So my friend John Hartman might be a part of that. So I know John is now watching this show. Not right now. He's probably listening to the replay tomorrow. But John, I'm holding your feet to the fire. We're gonna do this. I've got a show idea already laid out, and John's just getting his equipment ready. And yeah, we're gonna have an international. Let's just talk about stuff like you would in a pub. You're sitting having a beer with a pal, somebody that you just kind of hung out with and wanted to have a chat about world affairs. And this is how I would do it. This is how I view it from my window as a Canadian, and he'll give us his window as a Brit. So I think it'll be a great show. And the minute you meet John, you're going to fall in love with him like I did. I sat with John for 5 minutes at a bar in Mexico, and I was like, this guy's let's do karate in the garage kind of best friend material, you know? And then we spent the entire week with John and just found out that he is just a salt of the earth dude. So I'm really excited about that. We will obviously bring up ideas as it comes along, but it's very early in development, so stay tuned. We're also, Ashley and I are talking about sparking getting sauce back up this summer as well. We've got some good opportunity, I guess you could say. I'm looking at the spot that she would be sitting. She's literally not there, but I'm this is what you do. You look at somebody, right? When you're trying to have a conversation. I know you guys are there, but I'm going to talk to the empty spot on the couch because I don't know where she went, but hopefully she comes back because I've been fucking abandoned again. This happens every week and it's just me. Where's my Douglas? Douglas, if you're out there, guys, tweet Douglas. If you're on Twitter, send Doug a tweet right now. Douglas, sorry, don't call him Doug. He gets mad. Send him a tweet and tell him, get on Casual Friday 0.5 Saturday. It doesn't matter because most people listen to the audio, so it doesn't really matter what day this happens on. Yeah, so that's where we are. And see, he's done it again. He's didn't even cycle back in and left me here to vamp. This is how you vamp when you have nothing to vamp about. That's the whole point of Casual Friday. You bounce off each other. And when you're left to your own devices, I'm going to say terrible things. I'm going to say things I'm going to regret. She's back. Thank God. Oh, I just can't do it. I'm a recorded.
What the hell did you do?
I don't know. James, again, went to go use his internet and left me high and dry.
I'm sorry, baby.
Yeah.
You okay?
No.
How long you?
No, I
been holding me down?
panicked. I panicked. I even let the cat out of the bag about my idea with John.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went hard.
Yeah.
I like the idea though.
So do I. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now I'm down.
We're all just kind of, we'll get a pub atmosphere. Maybe we'll like change the backgrounds and stuff and we'll get like, make it look like a little pub.
Challenging me to redecorate because that's okay.
You're busy.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, but you're busy right now.
I can make pie.
You're busy with pie and plants.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
My plants are a problem right now. I am pissed. I had a bad day.
Yeah, she really did. I've never seen. Okay, imagine you come.
About my panic today?
Yes.
Sorry. I'm so sorry about that.
Imagine you're getting ready for the day and your spouse comes down the stairs. Now imagine you have kids, okay? We don't have kids in the house, right? But Ashley's plants are like kids. And she comes down today and she has a look of sheer horror as though she just found the baby not breathing in the crib. Like that sort of panic was what had washed over you. What'd you find on your plants, Ashley?
They have little buggies. I think it's thrips.
Thrips? That's what they're
Thrips.
called?
They're killing my plants.
They came down with the thrips.
I'm so upset.
It's so we went to Terra Greenhouse, and that's a local thing here. If you're from Ontario, you'll know what Terra is. I think they have a couple of locations, but one of the biggest ones is here. I think the flagship is in Stony Creek Mountain. And they're very well known and like high quality stuff, good tropical plants. We got a palm tree from there that was like $20. They were on sale. It was crazy. And we think that it's like crabs for plants, I guess. Like it would be like crabs. Is that what it is? It's like crabs?
Yeah.
Like if your plant had crabs?
Yeah. Yeah, that's comparable.
So
Like it's gross, but it's curable.
but it's spreading to the rest of the plants in the house. And yeah. So I don't know if see? Look, even our Albanian pirate friend thrips like crabs.
Yeah. You know what's up.
It's so funny. But yeah, they so I've never seen that look of sheer panic over your face.
I was upset. My babies.
I have a question though.
What?
And here's not a conspiracy theory, but do you think they could have like traveled home with us because you were touching all the plants in Mexico?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at our social media, Ashley like was molesting every single plant that we came across in Mexico when we were there, and I'm going to blame it on that.
Yeah, there's a high chance. They came from somewhere.
Well, I'm going to call CBSA because you imported a foreign bug.
And the weird thing is it's on one of my oldest plants. It's not like it's on something
she's
brand
a cougar.
new.
She's a cougar.
The worst infestation is on one of my oldest plants. So I'm just kind of like, okay, what's up with that?
She doesn't doesn't take care of herself,
Oh,
or
man, she dropped a new leaf, and I was like, that looks like garbage. So I started flipping it over and looking at it, and I was like, oh shit, something is sucking your soul. Sad. It's very sad. At least I
so
didn't
so
know
do
what
we
to
do we just go to the doctor on Lock Street and ask for a prescription? You give them a fake name and they just give you a cream and they just rub it on the plant for a couple of
No,
days and
I got something from Home Hardware. It's the same idea.
Ho Hardware.
Yeah, from Home Hardware. Which also I lost my mind today.
Oh my
at Home
God.
Hardware.
Oh my God! So don't let Ashley near a
Because
store.
I wasn't done apparently raging about plants for the day yet.
She's already pissed about her crabs, her plant crabs, and we show up at Home Hardware, and normally that garden center is usually pretty top notch. Like they do a really good job, but
yeah, especially the outdoor. It's the indoor that concerns me there.
so then
no.
doesn't she find something that somebody's doing something wrong, right?
Duh.
Ashley is now it's like me with barbecue. Like if you're doing something wrong with barbecue, I'll be the first one to be like, that's gonna be gross. So you're wrong. You don't do that. She's that way with plants now. And she's raging in the garden center.
This thing was sitting in like this much water, just soaked. I'm like, I'll just take it out of the giant soaking pot. It's like just gonna die here.
So Karen Planterson over here decides to dramatically fix the problem. I don't know if anybody was watching, but
Hope they saw me. Oh, maybe I should have done that.
it was so good. It was
I
so
won't
funny.
buy plants here because you don't care about anything.
Yeah. So
Stop selling succulents; they're all half dead. Please.
she's now the
Please.
advocate. She's like you're like George Clooney's wife for plants.
Sure.
You're like that human rights lawyer for plants.
I mean, like I care about people too, but
Plants don't talk back though.
no, they don't.
What do you think that one with crabs would say if it could talk? Would it blame you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring these in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hoe.
You hoe.
Yeah. Always touching my leaves.
Why were you touching strangers' leaves and then coming home to me?
Yeah.
You were touching all them strange,
Yeah.
all that strange, and then you came home and touched your own. Yeah, this is what happens.
Yeah.
It's like that Peter Griffin.
Yeah. You're gonna need this shampoo and a tiny comb to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sat on a public toilet seat. 10 years later, boom, herpes.
Well, I put him in the tub today and hosed it down. And then I sprayed it down with that other stuff that we bought.
Yeah, that was not cheap. That was like $15 for a bottle of
It's a
fucking
big
soap.
bottle.
Yeah, what is it? Just like Dawn dish detergent? What is it?
Don't worry about it.
It's just Dawn dish detergent. That's all it is, guaranteed, with a fancy label on it. James rejoins us. Hi, James.
Yes.
About
Hi.
friggin'
We should call this not the Starlink episode, but the shitty laptop episode. That time it booted me because I copied and pasted the link to send to David Wallace. So
See?
I can't
See,
touch
we did.
things. You know how hard it is for me not to touch things? It's really fucking hard, man. Like
Sounds like you.
It's a divorce guy thing. You gotta
no,
touch
it's
it all
just-
the time
it's a
now,
laptop,
right?
It's a laptop
Fair.
thing. So I found spyware on my computer that was put there by a certain significant other that I used to have. And I'm the only device that this happens to in my house. My phone.
I thought you were
I
getting a
love
new
computers.
laptop. What happened?
Allegedly.
They fucked up the order. So I'm just going to go to Ottawa and get it.
All right.
I want to get it in
Smart.
person. Ordering a laptop is risky. You know, like you can't, like it's an Amazon product, but it was, yeah, it's just been a shit show. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I live in the middle of nowhere. Like full disclosure, aside from living in the middle of nowhere, and I'm not even tipsy, so I know I sound like it right now, but I'm not. But I have no experience up until last year of ordering things over the internet.
Mhm.
Like, I never had a credit card, you know, so this is all new to me. The reason why, and now that I have a credit card, I'm like doing things like that. That is hilarious. Well, I don't know what that is, but
So you can't touch this.
it
Samsung.
didn't look
Hammer.
like MC Hammer. No,
Of course it is. That's not Borat at all.
By the way, do you still have the videos? Oh, is that Borat?
No,
Is that what's his face? Oh,
I don't know who
Is-
it was.
do you still have that video of the like what was it? The goat crying things? Remember, like there was like something that you put up. a
Oh,
couple
like
of
the
countless
Oprah
times
thing,
ago.
the goat scream.
One of the things sounds exactly like someone's going, right, Lindley. Rah, rah, rah." I swear to Christ, I thought you did it yourself. Go
No.
find those from the because I'm sure you have it, right?
What was
Those
this?
Yeah, it was. I think it was the goat screaming, whatever it was.
Like when
It
we
was
were
the
making
only
fun
time
of
that
the
yeah.
Oprah goat thing.
I think so, but you played like 2 of them. I thought, whatever it was a screaming animal, and it sounds exactly like Ryan Lindley. I thought you were just doing a subliminal bit. I really did.
No,
Go
no,
find
I'll
it.
have to.
And
I'll have to go and
yeah.
see. Maybe
it was hilarious.
it might still be in the archives, but I don't remember that. You sure you weren't just dreaming this? Were you high?
Yeah, I'm sure. If I was high, I would have heard the same thing too. Okay, like like when you act like an asshole when I'm high, I still know.
Yeah.
you
Oh
know?
yeah. No, and that's done by design, but
The best part is that I know when I'm an asshole, and that's really the important part, right? Like,
that's true.
So
Yeah.
Self-awareness.
While you're looking for goats screaming,
Yeah.
yeah.
I see somebody in the comments was asking about it, so I gotta refresh my own memory here. Ryan, where did we leave off with the people inside of our house story the last time?
I don't know.
What was the resolution? Had I gone back to work yet?
No, I don't think you've been on the show since you've been back to work.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Why? Did you want to bring this up again?
No,
or-
somebody else asked a couple of times.
Oh, okay.
They want to hear the resolution, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I get that.
Yeah,
I did start
sure.
it. I started a joke.
I started.
So, I had a short work week because I came back with the holiday Monday like a jerk, and then I booked off Friday because I had a wedding to go to. So I only had a 3-day work week, and unfortunately, the person that actually had the keys to my house was not there this week because they weren't feeling the greatest, which is understandable. And then they're on vacation for the entire week next week,
Weird.
so I won't see them. I was already booked.
You'll forget about it though. It'll be fine, right?
And the other 3 people came to me and actually all apologized and told me it was all the other person's idea and that they were super sorry and that she had actually told them not to speak to me about it and not to bring it up because she had already dealt with it. So they brought it up anyways and told me the truth about it, which I really appreciated. And that was nice.
Did they bring plant crabs into the house? Maybe.
None of them were plant people.
I know.
Were they dry humping the plants? Is that what happened? What do you mean?
Did touch
what are
my
plants?
Ashley's plants have crab. You missed it because you got booted. But Ashley's. I was trying to vamp here, and we were talking about Ashley's one plant has like I call it crabs. What are they called? Thrips.
Thrips.
Yeah, it's
They're
just
like little
weird-
aphids or
like-
something.
yeah, like little
Yeah,
aphid
but
things.
They do this thing where they crawl like underneath the leaf of your plant, and then they always have that kind of vein that runs through like leaves and stems.
They drink.
They well
Pick
they
out
like
the
to
seeds and stems.
they like to kind of burrow under there, and then they lay eggs. So you'll see like these teeny little bumps underneath if you look. You'll see
Teeny
spots, and
little
occasionally.
bumps. How did you sing
Yeah.
that? That was great.
I sing.
She
I sing
sings
a lot of
everything.
shit.
Everything.
I like
This
to
is
sing
our
things.
house is very musical. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Dude, I do the same thing.
It could be the worst thing in the world. Be like, my uncle just died in a car wreck. You know, like, it's like what the fuck? Are you, really?
Getting molested made me a good lover later in life. It's funny because it's true. Aren't you happy that it's me who's here with you?
So
Anywho, yeah.
instead of being ticked off anymore, I feel a lot better about it because at least I know what actually happened. Because they were like, "Hey, it was all this other person," and then everybody else was like, "No, it was all them." So,
Yeah.
it sucked to find out for sure. Because I mean, like,
Yeah,
I
the
was,
one person you trusted.
I was already angry once, and I could have gotten over it, and then I came back to work, and it was like, yeah, I was told not to talk to you about this. And I was like, excuse me, you're told not to talk to me. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Guys, it's over. Don't talk anymore about it.
yeah.
Fuck off.
Speaking of hardly ever talking, please welcome.
Because we don't give him a chance.
That's right.
Douglas,
Look
How you
who
doing,
it
buddy?
is.
hi,
We have no audio on Douglas once again.
but he's beautiful.
He is pretty though. Like, look at him.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most beautiful man in the world.
He's
by the
got
way.
a Chris Christopherson look to him now.
He really does. Yeah. Yeah. I want to hear about Riders
I
on the
just watched The
Storm.
Big Lebowski, so
Riders on
that
the
mustache
Storm.
is pure like Chris Christopherson.
I love that handlebar look he's got now. Like, I really do. I like that we're talking about him and he can't respond, and he's just gonna have to take the compliments without telling us to shut up. That's my favorite part right now. He's got that that beautiful messy hair look going on, the beautiful mustaches.
He looks like he's one of the older long-term characters in Days of Our Lives. You know, like he's got
Yes.
that, yeah, Santa Monica
Okay.
kind of beach bum look. or something.
Yeah, I would
I'd get
totally.
down with that.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, there he is. Ding,
Much
ding,
Yo,
ding.
Douglas,
ding,
what are you doing here? How are you,
Bum,
buddy?
bum, bum, bum.
I was invited.
No, I said, how you
Did you
doing?
get
You're
bombarded on
always
Twitter? I
invited.
told everybody to bombard you on Twitter to come and get you because I was vamping.
Yes, yes,
You're always.
yes. I know. I caught it. I was trying to catch up because I was I had a couple things to do, but I was sort of listening in the background, and then I heard it. And it's like, I'm sorry, Ryan.
You know, if you guys ever meet at the same place, you could say that in a totally
But I was
different
still
context.
7
That'd
minutes
be great.
behind or
Yeah, it'd be
something.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You'll be sad you
Yeah,
missed
real-
it.
Speaking
I'm
of,
coming, Ryan.
speaking
So thank you for the comments. Ryan.
last
That
night
was very, very
before
nice.
I know David just showed up in the green room as well, but yesterday.
Yay.
So last night we're at the wedding, okay, and this is great. So we're at the wedding last night, and Douglas shot me a message because like I'm not gonna tell everybody, oh, I'm at a wedding and whatever. It was just one of those, oh, whatever. So he messaged me and said, oh, are we doing Casual Friday? James said something about coming on, but I can't get a hold of him. And I'm like, I caught the message a little late because I wasn't looking at my phone because we were at the wedding. And I saw it. I'm like, oh, I just happened to be. Ashley had just actually sat down to take a break. We were on the dance floor and having a drink, and she was sitting all sexy and seductive in her dress with her
No, I
like
was
heel.
not.
Yes, you were. Hang on, Douglas will agree. And so I'm like, I'm gonna tell Douglas that this is what this is why I can't be on Casual Friday. So I snapped a
Very
really
busy.
candid photo of my wife. Which was about like knees up, we'll say, sitting on the chair. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to send this to Douglas. He's asking if we're going to be on Casual Friday today. I'm going to tell him we're a little busy. And Ashley took one look at the picture and she goes, you're sending that to Douglas? And you don't have my fucking shoes in the picture? I'm like, oh my God, you're right. So I backed up and took another fucking
I
photo.
was like, he'll get it.
And he's like, you have to send the entire thing to Douglas. He's the only one that's going to fucking get it out of all of you idiots. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. And I took it, and Douglas, I'm not kidding. I showed her your reply to me this morning,
I was like, yes.
and including so I didn't say anything about the take 1, take 2 in the reply, and I only showed her take 2, and she's like, "See, I told you he'd get the shoes," and I'm like, "Wait, look, he actually came back to re-talk about the shoes in the fucking reply." So you're right. You know what? I should post that picture. You looked so good last night. You looked so
I was like
good.
yelling in the picture.
yes.
You were singing.
So my first comment was, she's so freaking
She was.
elegant.
She looked so good.
And then I come on in track pants for the
Yeah.
show.
She's there with Shrek.
I think
right?
you look regal today, Ashley.
like this. So Ryan says, because I have it right in front of me, it's funny. I took this just for a conversation here, but the first one didn't have her shoes in it. She made me take it again because, quote, Douglas needs to see the whole things because
Yeah.
he understands. And I was like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
want me to-
yeah.
to
Absolutely. Say it.
what I said? Yeah. Okay. I noticed right down to the nail polish on the toes, the placement of the hands so we can see the fingernails, the strap on the
Strap-on.
dress being off the shoulder, and just a hint of
Ooh.
upper leg. In addition, the strapping on those shoes, damn, she is working that dress so hard. It is heart in me. Girl, flame.
It was so good.
flame.
Yeah, it was the
I was
exact.
like, I love this man.
It was the exact reply that she said was going to come last night when I sent the picture, and I didn't read it till today. But she almost had it verbatim. It was hilarious. So you guys are
What do you
soulmates.
know? It was all tied
You
together.
guys are
for a
fashion soulmates, apparently.
reason. Beautiful.
Mhm.
I buy everything
yes.
in black. I
You
was
look
very
so-
excited to buy
Also,
a color.
Ashley, strawberry Neapolitan.
Right? You get it.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's all about.
I get
Stick
it.
to
I
shoes.
swear.
Stick to shoes.
I
You
get
do.
it. And there was another thing you said early too, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. It was like,
See, I'm
yeah.
on fire today. And last night. It was a great night.
Yeah, you were. I'm looking at the picture. You were singing. You weren't yelling. You were just
Sure.
singing along with the song.
I was having me a great time.
Yeah.
The outfit was fire. That's what mattered.
Yeah, you look great. You did.
Thank you.
Anyway, sorry. I don't want to.
Great
I don't want to hold it up. Oh,
Did you
No, I'm
see
gonna
the
I'm gonna
picture?
I'm gonna post it in a second. But James just left. I was gonna bring David in because David's James's guest, and I don't want to be rude. He's been sitting in the green room for a few minutes. You know, I'm just gonna pop him in anyway because you know what? You want to talk about?
Sure.
You want to talk about it? Let's talk about fucking like killer stuff. I can never get over. I've known David for like almost 2 years now, and I never ever get over his hair. You son of a bitch! Every time you're here, David, I get so envious. As you can see, the light shining on mine. Yours is shining a little differently. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, Mr. David Wallace.
Sir,
It's good to see you, my friend.
lovely to see you.
How are you guys?
Oh, is that? Oh, there it is.
Hello.
Douglas did it.
Oh, look, there's Ashley singing away.
Oh, wow.
Did I lie?
Anytime.
Viewers in the chat. Did I lie? Did your queen beaver lie?
Mrs. Otter
you.
looked
Never have.
fantastic
Never
last
will.
night. She was definitely holding up the
Or-
two of us.
Did I only speak?
Yeah, no,
Truth.
you looked fantastic.
Truth.
Did I serve tea or did I lie?
It was a fun night. I'm glad I got to dress up and go out.
Yeah, we had some fun.
It's feeling good.
How did we
Been to
do
wear that
this?
dress for like a month. I was like, I think I've got something here.
James is not on screen and he took time to
Yeah.
type in hours.
Women can do that, though. Women can go into the bathroom, and when they come out an hour later, it's a whole nother person. Beauty, behold the. But men,
It's
we
crazy.
can go in there for days. We come out and
You're right. You're right. We look good. I actually did get a compliment from one of Morrow's the groom. One of Morrow's family members came out while I was outside without you. And I was having a cigarette. Her and you know that guy that looked like Jason Momoa that was
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So her like that was the couple. They were going
He
out.
had great hair too.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You guys and your fucking good hair. There's
He had a
two of you on the
beautiful, like,
screen right
wave
now.
thing going on.
I
Oh, it
hate
was
you
stunning.
both. Anyway, she said to me, she looked at me, she did one of those, did the up and down look. She goes, "You really nailed it for a greenhouse wedding." I said, "Thank you for noticing," because I was wearing like a shirt with like palm tree, like palm leaves and
fronds.
stuff, fronds and stuff, and a nice like
Right.
what's the color shirt? Chartreuse.
That's
A
right.
chartreuse undershirt in it. Like, so I was kind of like trying to get it right. And but I still look like a slob compared to my wife, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but she was able to hold it up. So I was like,
looks
okay, I
sharp.
can get away with this, and she'll do all the hard heavy lifting. It'll be fine, as usual. And yeah, I actually got a comment. She's like, "I was going for the same," and she was wearing a very nice dress. And I said, "Yeah, my wife, the same thing. She wore green because we were in a greenhouse for the
Makes
wedding, and it was a
was the
beautiful,
vibe.
yeah, it was a beautiful venue. So."
I could have stayed there all day. But
Yeah.
I'm just because I'm a plant loser.
Yeah, if you get a chance, and I know if like we've got some people that do watch that are from like in the city. I've never been since they've done the renovations and they built the new building of the greenhouse in Hamilton. But the tropical greenhouse at Gage Park is insanely gorgeous. Like if you can get past the tent city to get to it,
It's like walking.
beautiful.
It's like walking on a little block in a resort in Mexico.
it really was. And like I'm talking about leaves the size of
perfect.
my body, and I'm a big fucking dude. Like these
they're
trees,
way bigger
if
than
not,
you.
yeah,
stuff
if-
way bigger.
yeah, it
than
was
you.
massive. So
They've got stuff that's like ancient that they've transplanted in there from places that's just stunning, like massive palms that are like you could never get your arms around. And
while we wait for James, I'm going to ask. I'll ask you two because you guys weren't here when we were talking about it earlier. So we're talking about when you get invited to weddings. Okay. Do you notice like care and concern being put into the table matching?
who you're
At
seated
the
with.
like who you're seated with at a table when you're a guest. You're not part of the wedding. You're just a guest. So last night, the reason why I bring this up is it's a friend that Ashley worked with especially during COVID. So we always make the joke it was a trauma bond, right? Like they trauma bonded during COVID. At
Somebody brought it up in a speech about one of the bridesmaids too, because she was
she was part of
that
it
team,
too. Yeah.
They're
So
trauma bonded now.
so they really put the pairings together at the table well because we're outgoing, we're pretty funny, you know, like we can hold a court if we needed to. So table 8, it was kind of like a holding court table, and everybody there was really funny.
I think she realized we would all get along, kind of thing. We all had similar interests, and
I think that was the best table pairing at a wedding I think I've ever been
Yeah,
at,
she
to be
kinda nailed
honest.
that.
Like, have you guys ever noticed that? Like, have you guys ever been to like a wedding where it was just like mismatch? Like
Yep.
you're sitting at a wedding table with
She
like
even told me that she second guessed it, and she ended up moving us, and she was glad that she did.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no, you nailed the table there.
Do you have any horror stories of being a guest at a wedding?
Russia.
Like
yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say David for sure. David, do you speak other languages at all? Like, or are you like not fluently, but like, are you able to like conversationally hold yourself? Like say you were at a table, like a wedding. We'll do it. We'll lighten it up. We'll say it's social, and you were at a social event in Russia, like a wedding. Would you be able to like at least like keep up with a convo?
To keep up at that point with the amount of alcohol, no, that's when they go in. Russians usually are not the most brisk of speakers until they start drinking, and then man, it is staccato. At that point, they might as well
Staccato.
be speaking Mandarin Chinese.
Okay.
I don't know.
No
what the hell
shit.
they're saying, except for the word "fuck," which is prevalent in all cultures.
Okay, well,
flies,
solid, yeah.
flies like bullets.
Any horror stories, Douglas? Have you ever had like a horror story pairing, like where you're a guest at a wedding and you're just like, I am stuck at this table now for a 7-course meal, and it's speeches in between every course, and like I'm trying to lighten the mood. I'm trying to like at least be conversational. I'm trying to be neighborly with my like the people that I'm stuck with. Like, have you ever had that where you've had to hold it down?
I've never had a table that was so disastrous that it was like,
Yeah.
get me out of here. But tables that just there's just no point of connection anywhere. And if I'm at your table, it's really hard to miss,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm fascinated
Yeah.
by people, and I'm naturally, it's really hard to miss. It was just like, there was just, when you meet people, like, let's say, you're going on a first date with someone, you think it would be really nice, let's say, but
Yeah.
then you go on a first date, and there's just nothing.
Yeah.
And then you're stuck for the entire
Like-
date because you don't want to be rude, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely
Right.
painful.
But there's like,
You have to excuse me. I cut my
absolutely
foot earlier, and my shoe is filling up
nothing.
with blood.
Did you
But I had one near disaster wedding that had nothing to do with the thing, but it had to do with my allergies.
Oh,
So we had asked all the questions, and everything was great, and everything was fine. It was fantastic meal, like spectacular meal. Like, there was a seafood buffet. Spectacular wedding. We're having a great time, all that kind of stuff. Dessert, for me, it's just the sorbet because everything's pastry or whatnot, and I can't have flour. So we're dancing and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden I start itching, and then the hives
Oh,
start popping
no.
out on the arm like this, and I take the Benadryl, look this, and I'm thinking, okay, it might be just a little bit, but I'm thinking like it's got to be just like a small little cross contamination because like there really was nothing. There was nothing I ate, and we asked every time, and they knew before when we made the reservations and whatnot, and everything went well. Didn't see nothing. There was nothing obvious to me on the plate either, and then it wasn't working, so I took the other one, and then it still wasn't working, and it was starting from my throat. My throat was starting to close. I was having an anaphylactic shock
no.
at a wedding.
Way to ruin the wedding.
Well, like, but could you imagine, right? It's like we suddenly leave the wedding. Oh, where did Douglas and Alex go? And then like you get a call like a couple of days later. Hey,
Sorry.
what happened? Oh, yeah, Douglas died.
Douglas died?
Just for a minute, we got him back.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
Like-
I had that happen to a groom. A friend of mine that I was the MC at the wedding,
Whoa.
and the groom, they served him shellfish in a like a appetizer,
gosh.
and didn't even know it was Ray.
Look like powder.
Yeah.
$75,000
So-
wedding, and the groom almost had to get rushed to the hospital.
Oh
It was
my
fucking
gosh.
nuts. Yeah,
Because of the bill. Because of the
Yeah.
bill.
So-
yeah, that's
Yeah.
why it was nuts.
So my throat's closing out. Yes. I have 2
Thank God.
EpiPens on me. Both of
Stop.
them fail.
EpiPens are
kid you
homophobic.
not,
That's
both
why.
of them fail.
What the fuck?
So we call.
What is wrong with you?
It's random. It's just random. It's just random. It's good. It's funny. It was okay, so I like it. 15
Trying my best
Beaver
not to be
points.
polite.
so so we called 911. We got put on hold,
Oh shit.
so we called a taxi, and my throat is closing up more like this, and we're like literally, I'm not sure, like, because Benadryl, like, it takes about 15
Yeah.
to 20 minutes to kick in. So, like, how long it's been since the first one, I guess. And I'm sit there like this, and I literally, as we were waiting, like, we called a taxi, as we're waiting for the taxi, I literally looked at Alex, and I asked him to just hold me and tell me that
Yeah.
because I thought, like, this is it. We're like in the middle of nowhere. The EpiPens failed. We're put on hold with 911, and I still have to wait for a taxi ride and get to
Oh
a
my
hospital
God.
like this. And I'm already feeling my throat.
Was he
closing
like, I did love you until I found out your throat was
And
out
I-
of commission?
up? Oh shit! That's
No,
This
if
is my only
anything,
job.
it's,
This is
if
my only
anything,
job.
it's tighter.
Again, I
If
love
anything
it.
is tighter,
I
it's a
love
good
it.
thing.
But
I'll be
Yeah.
here all week. Try the
that's
Douglas.
cold.
Try the Douglas.
That's cold. So there's a taxi that
Oh my God.
arrives, and it is not ours. And they say, so and so, yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. And we hop in that cab, and we get to the hospital, and like this. And fortunately, when it's anaphylaxis like this, you just like knock on the window, show the EpiPen, point
Yeah.
to your throat, and they bring you right in, like this. They hooked me into that thing like this, and saved me. And I swear to God, I think it was the moment that I thought for sure I was gonna, like, when we called 911 and we were on hold. I think I must have got an extra shot of adrenaline in that moment that covered a couple of minutes more for the Benadryl to kick in, that acted like a bit like the EpiPen, because like when you think, oh shit, this is it,
Absolutely.
like this.
That's
Um,
terrifying.
But yeah, so it had nothing to do. And you know what
What's
the
that?
culprit was in the end? They ground up a gingerbread cookie to mix it in the
Shut
orange sorbet.
Did it taste good?
Seriously. Of course, it was delicious. God damn it.
They didn't. It's not like the orange sorbet, like with a gingerbread.
Orange and
cookie just
ginger
put in
makes
it.
so
Like
much
this.
sense,
They actually
though.
ground. Of course, they ground it up, I guess, and exactly while we were eating, I'm going, damn,
Yeah.
this is good sorbet.
Who's the onus
Oh.
on the establishment or the patron to tell them what they're allergic to, or to ask the question? Like, how do you? Is there a rule of thumb in that situation?
Well, we did it to the, when we filled out the
Okay.
invitation, saying that we were coming, we RSVP. We did
They
that.
know
and then
that specific person
uh,
at that table
they-
has that food
yeah, they don't-
allergy, and they're
exactly.
not supposed to do anything stupid after that.
Exactly. Like
you
this.
covered your
and
bases,
we
yeah.
asked for every course. Yeah. and
So
then
you
for every
triple
course, we asked,
covered
is this
your
one okay? Is this
bases.
one okay? This one okay?
What did you do, Chef
we did.
Tony? Chris Christopherson is on the ground. Like, what are we gonna do?
It's like,
No.
who does that? Who
Like I
does
get it, I
that?
do, but I mean, like save a couple portions aside that you didn't tamper with, maybe. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Douglas, you're close to
But that's my-
Fort Henry, right? Like, you live near is Kingston, isn't that? Yeah. So I
Yes.
went to a wedding there once, and it was my cousin getting married. And I ended up, long story short, I smoked a joint after drinking copious amounts of red wine. And I ended
good
up
job.
I did a walk of the grounds, and I puked all over a cannon. All over it from a height and everything. It was amazing. And no one noticed, which was the greatest part. I was like, excuse me for a second. And I just walked like 10 feet away, leaned over that little place in the top of the tower, and just was like, bah. And then I was like trying to use my handkerchief. I ended up dropping the handkerchief over Fort Henry too. Didn't land on the cannon, but that would have
Oh my
been
God.
ideal. And then I turn around, my cousin's there. He's like, hey man, we're looking for you to do your speech now. And I'm like, I'm ready. Let's do it. And then
Well, yeah, you would be.
yeah,
Putting all
well,
out of you.
there's two types of people. When you throw up, that's the end of the night, or that's just a new beginning.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a new beginning moment for sure.
It totally is.
Yeah. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
That's exactly it. Actually,
Glorious.
uh,
Disgusting.
gotta be a
But-
trooper.
Wedding would be if you. I'd like to be a wedding planner with all of the people I know from my previous career, and I would place them strategically at tables, shimmering.
Oh my
blood,
God, you imagine?
Open up the bar, free bar, of course, free
You're-
bar. Lock the doors and then fucking leave. Film it.
I mean, like, I do events if you want to talk.
Actually, David, you could probably
That's a
you know what?
reality
You could
show I
probably
would
solve
watch.
about 3/4 of the world's problems by just doing that and opening the door about 3 hours later and finding all the bodies.
Absolutely. We've
That
settled it
that is if your career as Farrah Fawcett's hair double doesn't fall through.
She wishes.
I had it up all day. I was changing brakes, so I had it up. So I put it down, and now it's whatever.
It's fabulous.
Sorry, James. I know you.
Yeah,
You prefer
whatever he
it
says
up. You prefer
to the
when it's
bald
up.
guys.
I prefer it tied back. Yeah, I do. I strongly prefer it tied back. It's too pretty, man. I can't stand it. It's too
I know.
pretty. It's not because I think you look stupid. It's because I think your hair belongs to Farrah Fawcett. Like, it's,
James is like, or me. I don't
With them
know who's
fuzzy
mine.
britches.
yeah.
There you go. It's
Is it
for
St.
sale.
Swimming's Day
She can buy
already?
it if she wants it. She's dead, but she can. Anybody can buy it if they want it.
Oh,
Give me enough dollars, I'll shave it. I'll shave it down to the wood tomorrow.
No, you won't.
No, see, what you
I'll put a
gotta
court
do-
injunction in for you to do that. You're not allowed.
I bought
Have you
it.
seen
My
how they
check.
do the
I
actual like
bought it.
hair
I want
transplants?
it. I
No.
bought it.
Oh, it's absolutely fascinating to watch. I saw one where like somebody was just getting kind of like this little receding hairline thing filled in,
Yeah.
and it was like they went to the back of this guy's head and they cut like this, I don't know, maybe like centimeter long strip off the back of his head where his hair was, and then stapled that shit just back shut. Like that's just your new hairline back there. And then they take this strip of skin now that they've got, and it's got all of the hairs in it, and they gently pull them out with the little follicles and everything attached to them still. And then they stab holes in your head, and they plant them in there like little tulip bulbs. And they cover your head up for a couple days, and they tell you not to touch it while everything germinates.
Stop it.
Like a chia pet.
Stop
And
it.
then when you're ready, you take it off and it starts growing in again.
Oh.
It is technically your hair. They just took it from back here.
Oh, I'd rather die.
I'd
rather get a penis
money
this
be
time.
involved. Who the hell cares? I mean, right now I'm 53. I don't need it anymore. I mean, I already, hell, shave
Fuck
it.
you, David.
You're hurting my husband, sir.
why don't you? What?
I know.
It's easy to
Fuck
say
you,
I don't need it
David.
anymore
Go
when you
pick a
got
flying
it.
fuck, you suck.
I'm an old man. I'm 53. What the hell am I going
I'm
to
an
do with
old
it?
man.
I'm an old man. Sorry, I'm having an audio issue. Give me. I've got like 5 sets of headphones and trying to
Ryan's
figure
really
this out.
fighting.
Oh, okay. Ryan, I sent
He
you an
lost
email.
one side.
Oh, Ryan's not there. I
Throw
sent.
my balance off.
Is it a picture of your feet? Because if it's a picture of your feet, I'm going to be very upset.
I would be upset if I accidentally sent a picture of my ugly ass hobbit feet. So no, it's not a picture of my feet.
Are they
Promise
furry?
that. No, they're not furry. Look, my
Okay.
middle 2 toes are webbed.
There we go.
Or red?
Seriously?
Webbed.
Webbed.
I
Yeah.
thought you said
Oh,
red.
you're-
I was
you're
like,
a
okay,
mutant.
you might want to get that looked at.
I don't know.
Are you a good swimmer as a result?
That's what
of
everyone
this
says to me.
deformity?
And tragically, no, I'm not. I can swim underwater like this, and I can doggy paddle and tread water. After that, I can't do it.
Oh, I know you can tread water.
Like a stupid retriever.
You'll never be an X-Man.
He has the feet,
Could be
but
an
he doesn't
X-Man.
have the
He's not
arms.
I can mesmerize me. Oh, Ryan, I sent you an email.
Okay.
So, you guys were talking about plants, and I found a song that I
Love
did,
plants.
and it's not good. It's not good. It's not supposed to be good or anything. But someone asked me to free. Like I was like, I said something to a buddy of mine. I think it was David. I was like, girls are just like plants, right? And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, and I put on a beat and I freestyled a song. It's only 1 minute and 30 seconds called "Girls Are Plants," and I named every girl that I had like as a type of plant or a flower. And then I do the hook, and then I end it by calling girls meatloaf, and then pretending that I wasn't paid enough to finish because I couldn't think of what to say. Yeah.
What?
Girls are meatloaf?
Okay, so
No,
why are we
yeah.
plants?
Well, Well, you'll have to listen to the song.
No,
Guess-
I don't know if I would like to be subjected to that.
Oh, come on, Bridget. I mean, Ashley. Like,
You know what? You know what?
Jesus Christ.
I think that if you're going to act like that, then I'm just going to leave and make soup.
I don't have to play it. I don't want you
Wow.
to leave.
Pots of it.
Oh God damn it, guys. All right.
I'm done.
Yeah, so poor
Done.
poor David doesn't
done.
understand what this is all about. So let's
So
move along.
Find
No,
a song
yeah, let's
about
move
why
on.
women are plants.
I'm
And
gonna
I
go
hope
get
it's
pour
because
myself a
we're,
White Russian, which is slowly becoming my favorite drink. I'll be right
I
back.
hope it's because we are like lush and beautiful, but I'm going to
So,
imagine it's something about how you just need to feed and water us.
Oh boy.
So if they're plants and then later on they're meatloaf, are they just like beyond?
James has been working his charm again,
Plants?
hasn't he?
Have you noticed?
usual,
Have you
yeah.
noticed like just absolute Casanova, eh? You
You know, I
wonder
went
why
to his
he's
place once. I went to his place once last year, and the
Oh.
women they were banging on the door. They were
Oh,
banging
can
on
we-
the door. No matter what, you wouldn't let them out. And I felt very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable.
Oh my.
Oh, that was fantastic. Oh,
Real truth.
all right, David. He's not here. Let's get the lowdown. How was the visit?
Oh man, James lives exactly like you think he would live. James is a very unique individual.
Isn't he?
lots of fruit juice and applesauce. That used to be the joke that we had running when we all co-hosted the same podcast back in the day.
First
James
of all, he
used to
lives in
show
the
up-
middle of nowhere. He lives in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere. I mean, literally nowhere.
Oh,
You
we're
go
totally, like,
outside
macking on you now, James.
There are
What is
You're
it Bastard
out.
James time? Is that what's
A little
happening?
bit,
That's
Oh, yeah.
okay.
but in
That's
good fun though.
That's okay.
Yeah, it
Maybe
was-
I like.
Yeah,
to
no,
get
he lives
Nice.
in like Pisswater, Utah of
oh
Ontario.
my god, it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
Yeah.
It's beautiful, motherfuckers. It's not like it's ugly.
Sure.
I didn't say it wasn't beautiful.
Did you see my
Nice.
picture of the clouds that were angry? You know,
man,
David had the
crazy
line. David had the line of the show, and you missed it. Like, I'm sorry, but you
Well,
missed
what-
it.
tell me the line.
Well, he said he came to visit you, right? And he said he was up at your place and he visited you, and he said we were talking about like your because we're talking about the song that we're about to play, and about how well you do with the women, and how the women were just banging on the door the entire time he was there, and you just wouldn't let them out.
Okay, that's a load of shit.
it was funny. Come on.
That was good. Yeah, that was perfect.
Hilarious.
Oh shit.
You need
Yeah,
to rewind this
you
one.
listen to this one tomorrow.
Casual
Do you have something
Saturday.
to play for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if this works. Let me see if I can do it from here.
Gonna try to
Media
play
player.
the thing.
And remember,
Same
it's
thing.
not. I'm not sharing because it's fucking fantastic. I'm sharing with it because it's me. I'm freestyling. I never wrote it, and then it's kind of funny. I don't know. I think it's funny.
I think this.
Do I have to do it or do you do it?
No, I can do it from here. I just gotta. I gotta make sure that it's playing. Let me know if the audio's
Yeah,
not
give
playing.
us a thumbs up if you can hear it.
Yeah, let me know if the audio plays or not. But let's give this a listen.
Everybody, please let us know.
Girls are plants.
Yeah,
in the
right.
bottom
Girls are
corner.
plants.
Might want to turn it up because it's a low recording.
Can we hear this?
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, something's. You send me stuff that doesn't play.
No.
I need
it
it.
plays.
Oh, you know what I can? Oh, I know how I can do it. I can do it from here. This is how you do it. Okay,
This is
That-
how we do it.
this will work. Okay, girls are plants. Everybody, world exclusive. Chrome tab.
Share audio. Also
That's the
share
one.
Audio.
There it is. All right, here we go. Let's put that up.
Here's hoping.
Here we go.
Can we hear it?
Thank you, Chris.
I went there with young Joanne. She said I would be her man. Then she went and faded in the wind. I was left without a girl. Looked to the left inside a field and met a girl named Heaven there. But then the heather blew away. But I was on my way in the arms of Rosie. It was cozy, but then Rosie died, and I got surprised when I had a girl named Petunia by my side. Girls are plants. You can sell them from the window shop. They're plants. I don't think I've seen one in a garage, but they are plants. You gotta feed them and water them, then they won't die. Like Rosie, oh my.
Nailed it.
I met a girl, her name was Meatloaf.
She called him.
You can turn it off now.
That's all they paid me for because I just wrote that line, and then they said, have you written anything else? I said no, and they're like, here's $20, don't write anything else. So.
All right. Okay.
I mean,
So
What was the
What's that?
Meatloaf line?
Nailed it. Nailed
What
it.
was the Meatloaf
the
line?
which line?
Meatloaf.
Oh,
What was
I don't
the
even
Meatloaf
remember.
line?
That's where you freestyle and then you fall off. You can't think of anything. That's where I
Yeah.
fell off. Right. That's all that was.
Yeah.
I think there's something there.
Actually, you nailed it. You even right down to the, he's going to say something about feeding and water.
Yeah. I was like, I can feel this. I
Yep.
can feel it.
Yep. Yeah, she kind of
Right on
got
the
it.
head.
So I got a DM this week, and that made me think of that. And where there it is. Okay, listen. So our friend Alan, from he's been a fan of all of the stuff that we do. Back in the day when we were with Crier, we were with like we do our thing here with Casual Friday. I think he listens to the audio version of our podcasts.
Super nice guy.
Great guy. Alan's great. So he sent me a DM. We don't talk very often, but he sent me a DM. He said, let me read what the DM said first.
It's freaking hilarious.
He says, have you heard those Desjardins commercials with the Always By Your Side song? I'm sure you have. It's been played everywhere 800 times a day. I was wondering if you knew how much James got paid for recording them. And I said, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I'm
just
gonna
wait, bud.
play something here.
Yes.
Real quick. Let me just share it properly.
I better
You-
get a
I
check.
know it- yes.
Oh, you
I need to
should-
get a
I
check.
agree. Yes.
Tell me this isn't James DiFiore.
Oh, this is gonna be a
That's
joke, right?
actually no. I
Did
swear
you
to
drop
Christ.
this
Someone
somewhere?
masturbating
Like, did
or
you-
something?
No,
James,
I'm
James.
almost positive that you are the one that recorded this. You're just not telling us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hang on. Let me pop it in here. I'm gonna full screen that so that we don't have to see. Yeah,
That's
baby.
what she said.
You know it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, James DiFiore
It's commercial debut.
in his commercial
Singing.
debut.
Commercial debut singing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking first, by the way, when we were talking about this, I was looking for you. I'm like, oh, somebody looks like James. It's like, no. And then the guy starts
Same.
singing. Stand by.
Morning.
I am by your side. Got a heart so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall for this strong boots to climb. I am by your side. I am by your side.
Thanks.
Got a heart
Anytime.
so big, on this you can rely. No mountains too tall
You're gonna get dinged.
for this strong boots to climb. I am by your side.
So we're all in agreement that that's James singing that, right? And he's just
Well,
not
I thought
telling
that
us?
guy was the spitting image of me. I feel that I'm 18 feet tall, sometimes.
Well, I could have sworn that was your voice.
That's called.
I am
David
by
syndrome.
your side.
Like that
Yeah.
We should
You
do a
nailed it,
parody. Let's
Yeah,
do a
you got
parody of
right.
it.
I am not this size.
I am not this guy. I am
I'm
not
not
that
that
guy.
I didn't save this song. I always get it wrong.
Oh fuck.
So anyway, yeah, good job, James.
Yeah, great job, James.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I think that I have the same raspiness
That's kind of, I think they're going for that sound, and that is
Did
obviously
something upbeat with that voice.
and it's obviously into $1,000 microphone with a bunch of post production done, right? So I think if you were to have sung that into that $1,000 microphone with the post production, it would have just been you.
Yep.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be. Someone taught me something not too long ago. Listen, I don't have range. Okay, like I can't. Douglas, you probably have like the ability to sing much higher than me. And so someone told me, what's her name again? M. Gurner. Fuck, I had her as a guest once. She toured with David Bowie, and we were talking off air, and she was her book was something like Finding Your Voice or something, and she was, because she's a singing instructor.
Yeah.
And when she explained to me how to find your voice, all of a sudden something clicked. She's like, James, when you talk to me, like you just have kind of a natural raspy voice. She's like, that is your voice. And if you can learn to sing in that voice, you'll be a better singer than whatever you're doing now. Like not the rapping, but the singing. And I was like, I took it to heart. And then, ever since then, like I'm a hobbyist. I don't fucking care. Like I'm not trying to make anything out of anything like that. But I do fucking love singing as a method to get rid of anxiety more than anything. It really is. Oh, it's so that's why people scream and throw dishes in those places in Japan where you can just go and throw dishes and just get all the release.
Yeah, those rage rooms or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I encourage people that sing in the shower because that's their voice most of the time, right?
I sound like a fucking soprano in the shower.
Like an Italian guy from Jersey, or
like
Tony.
Like Tony, like
what
like
a
Tony
day
Soprano.
for a daydream. Like
somewhere over the rainbow.
Ryan does have a great singing voice, though.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, you brought David in tonight, and
Yes. Oh, wait. David was saying about, is there anything else about your time with James that you would like to share? Because we kind of veered off. I don't know about
How would you
all
open
that,
up that bag?
I want to know more.
I did. You're getting.
It was already open.
I want to know more. Just you and me. Just you and me.
Yeah,
There's
you know
nobody
what?
else.
All right, let's do that.
About
This is a safe space.
Which about the midget and the peg-legged hooker? What part? I don't know. I didn't speak. I didn't know how to speak Thai, so I didn't know what she was saying. But just kidding. Come on, he's not that bad. Everybody always assumes the worst of James. With good reason, but he's fairly normal. He's fairly normal.
So he's fairly normal. He was a good host.
Look, there you go. He was an excellent host. He even cooked me dinner. Come on.
There you go.
Sorry, I thought we were going to get something out of
There
that,
you
James.
go.
I had to do it. You would have done the same thing.
Ah, well.
Yeah, but that's fine. I don't care.
Anyway, you brought Dave in tonight. David, do you mind being called Dave or no? Are you like Douglas?
I've had 50, 60, 100 different names. What's the difference?
That fucking rat fucker. Yeah, no. Like, so Dave is pretty good, right?
Dave's good. John
I
Nada.
prefer Frank.
Third game is whatever you're comfortable with.
Oh, wait a sec. Yeah. So there's a good one. Aliases. Now, I know that you're still doing, you still have some fingers in some pots, right? So I don't want to like give away your shit, but have you ever actually run with like an alias that you had to like stick to?
Yeah, it was in the Klondike Papers. I mean, for well over a decade, I was John Nada. Nobody said anything. I was John Nobody, John Nada. It's
Nada,
I did
like
business.
nobody, nada, none of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
John
just
Nunya.
Nada.
Not to be
Nobody.
confused with Nunzianata.
I did a lot of business in Calgary under that name.
No shit, eh?
Yeah.
Is that hard? Is it hard? Like, do you have to like train yourself to like turn your head with somebody else? Hey, John,
I don't know what it is, but once I did my prep for the job, I'd usually take a little time, 2-3 months, sometimes a year. I'd prep for the job. I'd get into whoever I was supposed to be, and that's who I was.
No shit.
Yeah, it was
It's
pretty fun until
method acting.
I got married, and then of course, all broke. My wife was a little bit perplexed. Oh, that's disappear for months on end. Oh, yeah.
Well, and you know what? We've got
you to call me John. God damn it.
we have two. So technically, we have two accomplished actors on the panel tonight, and that would be Douglas and David.
Yeah.
If you think about it,
Oh boy.
just in different
Worlds.
worlds, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Except-
in a way.
if he flub, if he
Yeah,
flubs a line,
it might be a little more
Yeah.
detrimental.
Break
if
a
I
leg
flub a line,
takes
the
on
worst
a
that
whole new
happens is
meaning.
I get somebody throws a tomato at the stage.
What was that,
you know?
Ashley?
It's like,
Said
I
break
can
a leg
survive
takes
that.
on a whole new meaning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, and if I catch the tomato,
Oh,
I got
zig,
like,
zag.
I got like I'm a third of the way into BLT.
Absolutely.
You know? So I mean, it's like
Love me a BLT.
the worst things.
So,
that can happen.
I'll catch your produce.
So
The price of groceries.
James invited David on tonight just because we've been talking about a story that's been kind of like developing and unfolding as the week went on, and we were kind of expecting something that isn't coming to fruition quite yet, right? But and it's obviously still in the works, and I get it. They're doing the due diligence, which is what good press should do, and I think that's kind of a thing. James, did you want to?
Yeah, well,
you know more than I do.
Well, David knows more than everybody, but I talked to Stephen Gerginski, I think his name is. Yeah, from Press Progress on a couple days ago, and he just said that the timing of it, they were waiting for a comment from David Parker, and they weren't getting it. They didn't really want to put it out Friday and Saturday because that's when news goes to die. He told me it would be out Monday latest, so that's what I've been told. But I also said that if we talked about it, would it be okay? And he said yes. So, I mean, you don't want to scoop him totally, but David, can you give us a rundown?
Boring politics? I mean, we were having so much fun talking about you forcibly confining Thai hookers. I mean,
All right.
And pretending we're
either
other
way.
people.
Come on, it's a joke.
They arrived with David. I don't know why he's blaming me for all this.
Of course, I was.
You're the one that locked them up.
I didn't lock them up. I just wanted them to pay for all the shit they broke.
A lot of shit's going on out west, and that's pretty much the focus of this. Like a lot of the take back Alberta bullshit. And sorry.
Well, the
Ashley,
problem
just
is,
knocked you out.
we've got a lot of crazy stuff, like you said, going on, but it's a problem that's becoming systemic in our society. It's spreading. Not only David Parker, but I know they were also trying to get a comment from Jenny Byrne and Pierre Poilievre, I believe, and a few other people. If people believe in this country that things still aren't going on, this story should knock the socks off of some people. There were some really insane requests being made of myself, and think about this. I mean, who the hell would come to me after the last 2 years?
I was gonna say,
You could have just
so
stopped
they
that
still,
sentence right at me.
yeah, they still look at you as that guy, even though you've been the one that's been trying to like right the ship a bit and like turn over a new leaf. But they know that you're the right tactician. If they were to try and like buy you, are they trying to buy you somehow? Like, are they trying to like? We know we can bring him back down. Like, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Like, is that what they're trying to do with you? Or
not so much. I mean, I was intrigued, as everybody knows. I was very intrigued. I had watched David Parker, who let's be honest here. I mean, this guy overthrew a premier in Alberta, got him removed. Organized. If you want to look at just straight organizational skills, the guy's probably the best organizer in Canada.
That's crazy.
He took over a province. It is. He took over a province, and I was intrigued by his tweets, I should say, or his X's, or whatever the hell they're called these days. And he seemed to be fixated with Max from oh God, yes, sorry,
yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
right.
I threw out a challenge to him. Why don't you debate him? And he eagerly accepted. And so I called Dean Blundell, asked if he would like to moderate, and they were off to the races. So it sort of blossomed from there. And a few things were run across my radar, so to speak, and some pretty wild things took place.
So for people that aren't aware, that just listen to Blackballed and to Casual Fridays and follow us for the fun stuff. David's talking about Dean Blundell, who is the host and the I guess the the head guy at Crier Media, who I used to co-host a show with. James used to also co-host a show with. Exactly. And Douglas is the True North Eager Beaver podcast is like probably one of the top podcasts on that network. So
now that I'm gone, just want to point that
out.
Yes,
and we're not taking over
absolutely.
food trucks.
Thank you.
You know,
moving on that by attrition.
But no, it's not by attrition. It's very well
hard
deserved. Yeah, it's hard work. Anyway, sorry, David. I didn't mean to. I just wanted to interject just to give people that aren't familiar with who Dean is.
Yeah, so from that point forward, a relationship blossomed between Mr. Parker and Mr. Blundell, and myself and David Parker had many conversations, and some of those conversations, if you think back to the first podcast that he did with Dean, the discussion on Jenny Byrne and Pierre Bolivar, wherever you say his name. You can see where the direction he wanted to go, and that's where I came in. And I was no friend of the policies and the platforms. I haven't seen one. I'm no friend
Nobody
of
has.
the proposed. Exactly. I mean, let's face it. Neither side is blowing anybody's socks off these days. But
good joke.
Yeah, but what was proposed to me is it's dangerous, and what was going to take place was extremely dangerous, and I think it was a threat to our country. And I think we have many issues going on here, including foreign interference and individuals being not only funded in part but influenced by certain foreign influences in our own backyard out west, and it's pretty terrifying.
What's Parker's agenda? Like baseline, and I'm not saying like don't give us like the detailed, like what does he want to do? Like in general, is his goal to oust Poilievre and put somebody else in? Is that his main objective?
His goal is to break up the Federation of Canada and to
that's even harder than I thought. Holy shit.
I'm just telling you his agenda is, and he makes no bones about it. He makes no bones about it. He's very upfront about it. His goal is to completely obliterate the nation and to start again.
He's not going to
succeed. This man is not a conservative. He's not a liberal. He is this man fancies himself a conqueror.
He's a libertarian is what he is, right?
No, he goes beyond that. This is far beyond politics. This is a
religious extremism.
To say religious, but it's more than that. It seems to be. This is a man who sees himself as an empire builder.
So, and I know we're like, we laugh, and I'm with you, James. Like when I think about it, it's like, fuck that guy, whatever. But at the same time, he was successful in taking out a premier, was he not?
Absolutely, he was. That's why people.
Was he instrumental in that?
He instrumental in it. David Parker led the charge. He organized that. I mean, the grassroots of the UCP. David Parker pulled it together, organized these people, and led a coup. Let's face it, that's what it was. It was a coup of a duly elected premier. Whether you loved him or hated it, doesn't matter. He was overthrown from within by a political and what they see as a spiritual movement. That's a fact.
That's scary.
Spiritual.
So very scary.
That's scary. Like if you think about it, because there's enough people that are like doughy enough to not give a shit, and they think, oh, I also go to church, so maybe I should listen to that guy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I have a certain values that I find that parallel with that guy. That's how he did it with the premier, is it not? Like he just literally, it was like a hearts and minds kind of thing, or.
And he's already started in Ontario. Believe it or not, Take Back Ontario. He's already picked some of their people. They're already moving into place, and he is serious. And I know people say it can't happen here, but Mr. Parker is not married to a 100% hardcore religious right narrative.
Nope.
he will use whatever tools are at his disposal. David understands that politics are not about facts; they're about emotions, and he understands
reactionary
that
emotion. Yeah,
and he is. If people underestimate this man's reach or his ability to organize, they're going to be sorely upset because he will succeed if given enough chance.
James needs a minute. So there's a question in the comments: is he a Christian nationalist or a Dominionist? Would a Dominionist be a good label for him, or would it just be Christian nationalist?
That the most apt comparison would be Jim Jones, and I'm not
Holy
kidding.
Shit!
This man obviously has had foreign training. I know he was once part of the Ditchley Foundation. The Ditchley Foundation was nothing more than a think tank for ex-spooks and wise guys. He was removed from the board. I know that he's relocating to Ontario and Virginia. Geez, I wonder what's in Virginia.
Yeah.
This man's strings are being pulled. He's being manipulated. How fully he's aware of this, I'm not sure. I don't think he has total knowledge of even how he's being manipulated.
I've got a question, and it kind of ties back to what you said right before explaining what he is, and that is it wrong to approach reporting on him in an academic way? Like, should we just like take a step back and maybe like dumb it down a bit to the fact that he is literally just trying to like hit the cues of the raw emotion of certain people that aren't maybe politically astute. They're not educated. They're not following this the way that we all do on this panel. Like we follow this shit. Douglas being one, like people that just like, this is just kind of our thing. James, another one that just totally is immersed in this. So coming at it from an academic stance almost seems like we're trying to one up the guy.
Absolutely.
Whereas that's gonna fall on deaf ears. That's not gonna actually like retort to the hearts and minds. That's gonna like to the general population. And this is and I'll say this, and I'll say this out loud. Like, and I would say this to Dean. I think Dean tried in that first interview with the guy was to try to outsmart him, almost look smarter on the air. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to make it look like I'm a smarter individual than you, so I'm gonna make you look stupid. Whereas he doesn't care if somebody's trying to make him look stupid.
Nope.
His aim is to hit the target of the person that is not watching podcasts like this every day. They're not reading this news every day. So instead of maybe, I think that the way to tackle a guy like David Parker and his agenda is to not try to book smart the guy and try to make him look dumb. It's to literally just refute everything that he's saying on the same level that other tea time, the way that everybody else does. Right? Like, am I wrong thinking that, or
no,
like you're the guy? Like I'm deferring to you.
No, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, David Parker, a lot of people think homeschooled. They underestimate this man. Listen, I've spent time hours on the phone talking to this man. The guy is brilliant. I mean, utterly brilliant. But he understands his target audience, and he understands that what moves them is emotion. The more Dean or other people would try to tear him down, the better. Really, for his audience, you're basically feeding the fire with gasoline. It's completely the wrong way to go about it. That's why he continues to grow.
Oh,
absolutely. It feeds the machine.
It's kind of fascinating to watch, like in real time for us. Like it's fascinating to watch for us, but it should scare the shit out of anybody that's not paying attention to the fact that the guy was already successful in taking out a provincial leader. What's to stop him from taking out a federal leader? You know what I mean?
Well, that was part of the plan.
Fuck. That scares the shit out of me. I'll be honest with you. I worked in politics for 10 fucking years, and I saw people like this. I'd run into people like you, like strategists, people that were operatives in the behind the scenes, the people that never were camera forward facing, and a guy that went on a podium and started talking and pontificating never scared the shit out of me. it was guys like you and guys like him that were always the ones that like, fuck, you got to watch that guy. Like something's going to happen. Like this is going to be the problem. That's the problem.
That is a
Taylor
problem.
Swift, I'm the problem. You know what I mean? Like that's the real deal. So Douglas, what do you think, like with the strategy that Parker uses, like just trying to appeal to the common man? Like, do you think that the left doesn't do enough to counteract that, or do you think that they just try to be more academic and try to be a little more like we're trying, like, are we trying to be like too smart for the guy, or is that our problem?
Doing that. Honestly, I think there's my belief is when you see it from that liberal perspective, it's almost like there's an uncomfortable feeling that they have when they do it. They're more comfortable using the like you said, the university book smart type. That's who they are.
Yeah.
And it's a question of how do I relate? Not that they don't understand, but really, do you really understand how the common person thinks? Does any politician really? But
that comment from Cassie about Parker going after the grassroots and going after municipal councils and school boards. School boards is the number one thing. That's been a playbook thing in the States forever, where they start there. Right. Yeah, and then they go into a city council. Yeah. And I met Bill Clinton once.
There's a playbook for this.
There's operatives for this. There are people who are handpicked and hand schooled, and then they show up out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden they've overthrown.
He's following it, but he's a particularly good strategist and organizer. Because a lot of people fail way before they get here. And he didn't only succeed in Atlanta, he's expanding and franchising out now.
I met Bill Clinton once, and he said something to me that has always stuck with me. And this was like 20 years ago that I met him. He was at a banquet center. It was like a speaking engagement here in Canada. It was the coolest thing ever because I've never seen the Secret Service in action, like in real life. So it was really neat to watch the whole thing go down, the snipers on the roof and everything else. And it was like cool. But actually getting to shake his hand and talk to him, super personable guy, really nice dude. And we were talking about, I was working for the city council at the time. Like I was working with a counselor, and he said to us, because we were like, he's like, what do you guys do? And and the guy I was with, he said, and it was the word just that got Bill to stop and talk to us. He said, I'm just a city councilor. And he stopped and he looked at me, he goes, all politics are local, man. He says, all politics are local.
They are.
Everything, they'll take the cues from, you're the one that has the garbage collection, you're the police, you're the fire, you're the ambulance, you're all that shit. So yeah, it's scary that people think that the Justin Trudeau and Pierre Poilievre are the fucking be all and end all. It's really not. You're gonna get infiltrated from the fucking bottom up.
Yep, from the bottom up. Guys like Mr. Parker. I mean, there are several people at work in many different states, provinces in North America right now, and they're doing that job. And it's not just from the American perspective or the Canadian perspective. I mean, you've got Russian, you've got Chinese. I mean, they're setting up franchises. They're building from the grounds up. They're taking hold of organizations like Take Back Alberta, where maybe these are a true group of people who started out, but as they go along, they get people who infiltrate and steer it, such as a Mr. Parker. And here we are. They take over the school boards. They take us over one vote at a time, and that vote
inch at a time,
1 inch, and it starts right at the ground level. That's where it happens, and that's what's been taking place, and it's further along in the process than any of us even ever could have imagined.
Douglas, you said you had a question.
Yeah, it's actually someone in the chat mentioned it, and I was wondering it too, but Dave, you said something earlier about something was being proposed. What was that?
Proposed in terms of, I've lost my.
That's the ousting of Poilievre? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe between Dean and Dave,
proposed. Well, no, I mean, I know that those gentlemen, they got along really, really well, and they were looking to get into business with each other, and well, I know that was a problem online. I certainly read about that.
We all did.
Yeah,
I got
we all
DMs. I got DMs for weeks, and it's like, guys, I don't even work there anymore. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Fuck.
But you know, and I saw him getting into a bit of a Twitter war back and forth last week with Dean, and you know, I got to say, and
It was a good act, in my opinion.
Here's the thing: if it wasn't an act, then you're looking at the question. I mean, Parker is Parker who he is. Parker's not changing. He doesn't change behind closed doors or in front. He says what he says. He means what he says, and that's who he is. He's not a hypocrite. I'll give him that. The discussions I was a part of had a lot to do with business, and there was no philosophical discussion or political discussion or moral discussion. It was simply a business conversation. So the moral outrage or whatever you want to call it is certainly unjustified. I mean, it's a
literally
business.
It's we're all in that business. We're all in this business. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a business, and Dean is an entertainer, and he's very good at what he does.
Yeah,
he's a very, very good host, and but David Parker and Dean Blundell, I mean, you know, they're flip sides of the same coin. It's just a matter of perspective, how you look at things.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, they're both willing to go into business with each other to further each other's agenda, which is David to continue merrily subverting democracy in Canada, and Dean to make some money while doing it. There's advertising dollars, there's digital portals, there's digital spends. Business is business. Public
it's a philosophical. It's a whoring. It's just a philosophical whoring of space and clicks and views, right? Like that's kind of what it is, and that's what we do. Like we all do that. Like we're all here to garner clicks and get our messages out, right? But
yep,
some for different reasons, I guess. I don't know.
Look, you don't have to agree with somebody to do business with them, but then there comes to a point, okay, well, when do I draw the line when I do business with somebody? For me, it was kidnapping somebody for a fucking
yeah, like I'm
thinking like talking about
quitter.
This.
Yeah, you fucking
like,
quitter, you
like Kanye and Adidas kind of thing when they parted ways kind of thing.
I probably
right?
would have had short hair still. I probably would have been sitting at my cottage and probably having a very nice time and making a very nice living. And remind me again why I outed myself.
I'm not sure. How's that working out financially for you though?
It's it's just been great. Yeah, I'd have to. I'm so broke I can't afford to pay attention.
That's the best dad joke I've heard in a long time.
It's true. I'll tell you. It's
so we're watching for this. We're watching for this press progress report to come out this week, I guess.
I think it's also important just to point out that I haven't heard from Dean on any of this stuff, so I don't know what his take is, what his perspective is on it, and I think it's only fair to sort of reserve judgment until more facts come out. And by the way,
nobody's. I'm not judging anybody. I'm saying that these guys talked about doing business together. I don't think that's a secret. And there is no secret. And then
but it's contradictory as to what Dean said in public. Like he never said I'm going into business with David Parker. He said that he was interviewing him, and I thought, as I normally think.
Maybe they didn't consummate their deal. Maybe that was the hope. I mean, I know that David Parker told the reporter that, he confirmed it, but it's a matter of perspective. I mean, are you going to try to upsell? Of course you're going to try to upsell. You got a business. Crier Media is a business. It's not, it depends on how you look at things, but
it gets tricky. It gets a little tricky though, because it becomes there's a Venn diagram overlap between business and personal, or business and philosophical, or however you want to label it. So if I think that most people would be surprised if Dean even wanted to be in business with David Parker. And I think that becomes tricky for Dean and whoever else is doing a podcast where they sort of mix business with journalism. It gets hard, man. Like how do you maintain a public persona or a public image that is one way when you're willing to do business with someone that is the complete opposite? So I'd rather hear from Dean about how that went. And I'm not going to ask him like I'm not going to reach out and ask him. I'm going to wait for the story to come out, and then I'm sure Dean will comment on it like that. And so I think that's the best way to do it.
I think so too, because
I don't care if he does business with David Parker. I don't really look at politics like that.
I mean, shit,
you know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah, as long as it's the truth coming out, and like on both sides, like if everybody's just like upfront and on like the level, I'm fine with it. I don't care, but just be honest about it. That's all.
Yeah, but it's I watched their tweets back and forth, and like you said, the first thought I had was, seems like somebody, because I know by that point Mr. Parker had already been called for comment the first time and had spoken to the reporter, and that's when the war started, so to speak. And look, this guy's dangerous, Mr. Parker. He's not a conservative. He's not a liberal. He's not a New Democrat. He's quite frankly, he doesn't give a shit about anybody on the grassroots level of Take Back Alberta either. He's there to further an agenda, and that is to destroy this country and remove all of our institutions that we hold dear. I don't care what side of the equation you're on. This man wants to overthrow not a sitting government, democracy itself. The Federation wants to destroy it.
I'm just going to throw this out there. I think that he's delusional if he thinks he can do that. I think
He's
that
well on his way.
as talented as you say he is, and I don't have any way to like dispute that. I don't really the UCP thing in Alberta. It's interesting because when you see someone like Jason Kenney get ousted, most people are like, "Yay!" Anyways, right? Like, and it wasn't like Jason Kenney didn't do something wrong, right? Like, it wasn't like he wasn't, yeah,
he wasn't a saint. Yeah, no, he did deserve what he got coming to him. You're right. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a who gives a shit kind of thing there, but also the main point is that David Parker, by going on this road, he's not fighting Pierre Poilievre in the Conservative Party of Canada. He's fighting against Harper and the interest that he represents in his organization worldwide, where he usurps democracy in other countries or props up right-wing leaders in other countries. So I think that Stephen Harper posse, whatever you want to fucking call it, is probably a lot more formidable than David Parker. And I don't think David is going to win.
Well, David Parker has a lot of assistants, and David Parker is not exactly who he purports to be. I mean,
is he just the front guy? Is he just the front guy? He's just the face?
In my opinion, yes. He is being, let's just say that they identify people, probably identified him while he was a staffer for Stephen Harper. And they groomed him and they bring him in. That's how it's done. It's how it's done. It's how I got my ass into this business. You don't even know you're in until you're in.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking of you along the same lines as a David Parker, right? Like I'm like, and I don't mean I'm putting you guys in the same compartment, but I kind of am in a strategic sense, whereas you will have people that will be like, who's he compared to Stephen Harper? Who's he compared to Pierre Poilievre? It's like, no, you guys don't understand. There's always, no matter who the fucking squawk box on the TV is, there's 100 people behind him.
Yep.
And 5 of them have the pockets and the wallets. And the other ones are the strategists. And they're the ones that you'll never see, you'll never hear from, you'll never know their fucking names. But they're the ones that are feeding that prompter, that teleprompter, when Pierre Poilievre's at an empty gas station standing on risers, having a press conference, we'll call it. They're the ones that are feeding what he's saying. They're the ones with the slogans, the axe, the tax, and the fucking all that bullshit. They're the ones that are doing that because they know that, and I don't mean this, and I swear to God, I don't mean this in a derogatory way. They know that the plebs will eat it up like fucking candy corn. They will shovel it into their mouths because they've been taught their entire life. And I mean, this is sometimes generational now at this point when we're talking about conservative and liberal fucking attacks between each other. They've been taught that they are a victim, and they've been a victim because of someone else, not because of themselves, but just because of their own actions. They've been taught to be a victim, and they are now generationally victims. you are a generational victim. You could have been 8 years old. Like look at when you look at those rallies and you see kids holding up signs. How the fuck did Justin Trudeau screw you over, kid? You don't know. Go ahead, ask him. Ask the kid. Ask the kid 5 questions about the guy. Ask the kid 5 questions about the person that he's purporting to like. No, it's just because dad and grandpa liked him and said that I'm the victim now. So now
Yeah, it's like growing up a Habs fan, and then what do you think of the Leafs, right?
or exactly. And that's kind of it, and that's the sad thing. And it's hard to get people out of that space when you're not a bunch of junkies like us, where we're talking about it every day, and we're kind of like you know what I mean?
No,
I mean
for a second.
Sorry,
Yeah.
political junkies.
I was like, I think there's only one junkie
no
on this.
political junkies. And if we're going to talk about political junkies, I think Douglas is the worst of the bunch, because he actually talks about it every goddamn day.
Douglas has under the hood. He has under the hood knowledge too.
We're going to plug in, Mike.
I'd have no problem with Casual Fridays being a little more casual. Given
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Having David on, I had to. We have
a new rule now, though.
No,
we have a new rule, and I'm relying on you guys to. So, what time is it? By 11, after 11:30, we're not allowed to talk about serious things that have strong opinions. This is my 5th White Russian, and I don't think I'm ready.
You're drinking. You're actually drinking tonight. Good for you.
No, well, it's good because it's not hard liquor and it's not wine. Wine makes me feel like, what the fuck do you know? And vodka makes me feel like this. Where the fuck am I? Like, I'm hoping
David,
Kalu will be like, you know my name, girl. Like, I hope it'll be more like that, right? Like,
David, are you a drinker at all, David, or are you sober?
No, I don't. When I went through chemo years ago for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, I was on rituximab. For treatment prolongs it's gene therapy. It prolongs your remission, and sometimes it causes blood clots. So I win the lottery, get the blood clot, heart attacks, got the stent. So I just can't really drink anymore. I have 1 or 2, and the heart starts going. So no more for me.
So it's not worth it, I guess, at this point.
I have 1 or 2. The hardcore starts going. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I mean,
what about
all
right, Douglas? What about you? Are you drinking tonight?
Less than social. I've had half a beer.
God damn!
And it's done. And no, that's
the clothes are coming off
Maybe
soon.
More than half. Yeah. No, I'm not a big drinker. I never have been.
Yeah. Please welcome to the stage the Beaver.
He's gonna let the beaver fly. Yeah. No,
Why is this beaver flapping?
I've never been much of a drinker. I've never actually ever been drunk a day in my life.
What? I call bullshit. I call bullshit on this.
I haven't felt this way since Paul Atkinson said, I'm incapable of lying.
I've been inebriated enough.
That's a lie.
I've been inebriated enough to not be allowed near a toaster.
Oh my!
But I've never been drunk.
Oh my!
Same fucking thing.
Like this, it's just sort of like, ooh, wow,
that's drunk.
Really moving. Okay, I guess no. Drunk is when you no longer care what you
that's
look
blackout.
Like. I was definitely inebriated. No, blackout before that. Blackouts after that. But when you start getting messy and slurry and whatnot, like this, me, it was just I just got up. And
I guess that might be a different.
Okay.
There might be extra levels.
A little more than tipsy. But
there might be extra levels of qualification, James.
Feeling no pain
between like for a fabulous fellow like Douglas. There might be a couple of extra levels of qualification for drunk. Like you could be glowy, you could be so.
That's like it's like all the new genders.
Let's put it this way. I was inebriated enough that when I got off from my chair to go to the bathroom.
Wait, I'm gonna
seriously.
Where is it?
It's not 11:30 yet. Fuck off. Yeah. And then the handle came off.
I was inebriated enough that when I got off my chair to go to the bathroom, I had to stop for a second, so I got stable. And as I was going to the bathroom, somebody was coming this way, and I thought, I don't know if there's enough room for both of us, so I just stopped over to go, no, you please go. And then I cut on to the bathroom. So I still cared what I looked like. I was trying.
Douglas is the only guy in the world who, when he gets drunk, he acts more polite and more like
more polite. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I was hyper aware that like the ground under my feet was like this as I was walking. But that's literally like the most drunk I've ever been. Uh, but my drinking is really funny
Yeah.
because in curling, because I play curling, right? Winning team buys losing team a drink.
Makes sense.
Yes, and I play 4 times a week. So from about September to April, I have about 4 beers a week. Well, 3 actually, because some of my matches are in the morning. So I have about 3 beers a week, 2 or 3 beers a week. And then in the summer, like this from April 15th like to about like end of September, almost nothing. I'll have like a beer on a casual Friday or something at a barbecue, but almost nothing. And then when I get back to curling in September, I have a glass like this, and I get about like 3/4 of the way, and for about 3 weeks, it's like,
Don't curlers drink that before they curl?
wow, that's that kind of hit. I'm not sure.
In the last month, and this is funny. She's coming back, and she can
I thought
talk
there was an
about
Irish exit there for a second.
She's coming back, but no, she's coming back. We're just dealing with it. We got the dog, and the dog when we're on the podcast is the most needy motherfucker in the world. Yeah, no attention being paid to the dog. So, but in the last month, like in the month of May, I have seen my wife drink more alcohol this month than I have in the 8 years we've been together.
Intervention.
Well, because we were on vacation in Mexico, right? So, and
Right.
Ashley it's no stranger to other forms of entertainment. So when you're in a foreign country, it's hard to find those things, and when you do, they're not that great. So it was like, okay,
Talking
so
about
she's
male
like,
strippers, guys. In case you
she's
wonder
like,
what the-
I'll just hit the pina coladas and the daiquiris instead, right? And she acquired a taste for certain things. My wife, as a pirate, I call her my little pirate now, because when she's on the rum, man, she is the most fun person in the goddamn world. Like last night, we're at this wedding, and it started out with the cocktail hour. So they bring you like the little the prosecco, and they bring you I don't even know what the other one was, but it had a strawberry in it. It was pretty good. And then the bar opens up, and it was an open bar, so it was like, okay, we're gonna do her favorite drink, and this was actually one of the featured drinks at our wedding was Shirley Temple, but spiked with rum, so we called them Dirty Shirleys, right? So it's delicious. Like, don't get me wrong, it's delicious. Like, we literally had her uncle, who is sober over 10 years, didn't realize what was in the punch bowl, and like grabbed himself a nice big, because it was hot, grabbed himself a nice big fucking and just gulped it back. And that's exactly what it was. The entire family looked, and it was like a slow motion. No, and he's like, that was delicious, but shit, like fuck. One of those. He takes his sobriety very seriously, so it was like, it's a pass. You didn't mean to do it. Nobody's fucking judge. It's all good, But it was yeah. So that's been Ashley's kind of like go-to for the month of May. So I don't know if we're gonna have to talk in June. Being the guy that like drinks like almost every day, yeah, I'm gonna have to have an intervention with my wife.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, can we pivot for a second to to the Netflix documentary American Gladiators and how awesome.
Let's talk about
it.
this.
Is awesome. Listen, it's not like a promo for the old show. It's like this was what went on behind the scenes. This is how they made the show. This is how they ripped off all the gladiators. This is how they ended up having to dismantle the show. And it was pretty crazy. Like, there was a lot of shit that happened in that show. And I didn't realize how nickel and dime it was when it first started. Like, it was, like no budget whatsoever. People were getting hurt left, right, and center. Like, there were a lot of injuries.
Like seriously injured.
Yeah, like seriously injured.
Oh shit.
Who's that guy's name? Nitro?
Yeah.
When he tried out, he's like, he went against this other guy. They were doing that thing where you have a 10 yards to get past a defender, and he's got to tackle you or whatever. And the guy was like, it's possible that I might hurt this guy. He's a lot smaller than me. He's like, if you make him bleed, then we'll put you on the show.
Shut
it's
up.
like, all right. So he did it. He made him bleed. Basically knocked the guy out, and then got invited to be on the show. And then they really like worked them and ripped them off. Like, they went on like a 6-month tour. You know what it was like? By the end, they were doing what is that? The Knights. What's that dinner theater thing?
Medieval times. Yeah.
They were doing a thing kind of like that, like where It was like an arena. They're doing their gladiator shit, and there's a whole bunch of people on tiered seating eating chicken, potatoes, and vegetables, basically, right?
Shut up, really?
Yeah, totally. And they made a lot of money. This is right at the end, and then they, everyone was like, "We're not doing this anymore," because they didn't pay them very well. They weren't paid that well. They paid like $5,000 a week when they were doing 50 shows, or not more than that, like 150 shows or something like that in 6 months. It was crazy. So
okay, we talked about this briefly before the show, and I said let's not talk about it here. I want to talk about it on the show because I've got an opinion about things like this. And don't get me wrong, I did watch American Gladiators when I was like when it was out. Every once in a while I would leave it on just because you'd be flipping through the channels, you'd be like, holy shit, like some guy just got like murked by a big something or other and knocked him into a pit full of whatever the fuck.
And it was kind of the first reality show ever.
Yeah, it was one of them, right? Like it was like in the vein of that. So my problem is, and it's not really, it's not a problem. I shouldn't say it's a problem, but it's television's dead, right? Like TV's dead because every time we put something on TV, 10 years later we have a show about how it was terrible. Like everything that we do now ruins what the allure or what the magic, the Oz. Like somebody pulls the Oz curtain.
I love I love looking behind the curtain though. Like
I get it, but so what does that leave us now? Like what does that leave a network? And I'm not trying to be an apologist for the networks, but what does that leave a network for a choice of like, hey, I got an idea for a show. Yeah, but fuck, we're going to get fucked over in 10 years from now. And somebody's going to get fucking sued and they're going to fucking like cancel this guy. They're going to fucking do every time we turn around now, all it is it's a story about how it was terrible. So is it just dead? Like, is entertainment dead? Like, is that, I know it's not scripted, but it's scripted. Everything is scripted. Don't let anybody fucking fool you. There's no such thing as reality TV. Everything is fucking scripted. Is everything dead?
I'm going to throw it to Douglas in like 10 seconds because I think that he has a higher grasp on stuff like this, but I know that the reason cable TV isn't dead is because our biggest population demographic are the elderly, and they'd rather deal with that.
And they pretend that there's no problems. Yeah.
Yeah. Movies are not dead, but they're kind of dying because the business model has changed so drastically that unless you put out a movie in the theater that has something to do with sci-fi or fantasy or something like that, you're not getting those tickets sold if you're like a movie.
Yeah.
So, so they have to, now movie budgets are either 10 to 25 million or 100 to 150 million. Those mid-level movies are too rich for Netflix and and not rich enough for theatrical releases. So it's a weird time for entertainment right now. Go ahead, Douglas.
What's the question?
Douglas, come on. Work with
No,
us.
but seriously, you said go ahead. What's the
Yeah,
question?
you're gonna throw to Douglas. You didn't. Yeah, no. But what? Like, do you heard what we're talking about here, though, Douglas? Like, am I right? Like, can we not? Like, we just can't have nice things anymore, right? Like, but even though the nice things weren't really that nice, and I get that. There's not nice in every single business in the world, but the one that we kind of relied on to escape, now we're getting, that wasn't an escape for the people that were part of it. Are we out of the, like, are we dead? Like, is this just not a thing anymore? Like, we just can't do it, or?
I don't know if it's dead or not. I think it's one of those things that, how do you put it? The means of production have flattened.
Yeah.
I mean, right, X number of years ago, we couldn't be doing this. Right? So with so many people having the potential to be a publisher or a broadcaster now, I think it's just, there are so many channels, so many podcasts, so many options that people can find things are so segmented that people can find things to their taste, that the industry overall is maybe a little bigger, but not any one thing can be as big. Like it'll be hard to come with a, I mean, I'm dating myself. Even I was old enough for it when it happened, but the season end of MASH, for example.
Yeah.
That everybody all of a sudden it was like, everybody was around the water cooler next day talking about that show. The closest we had to that recently was sort of like Squid Game, because everybody sort of got turned on to it and other people were kind of looking.
Tiger King.
Yeah. Or Tiger King, right?
Yeah, but shit like that, yeah.
But there isn't the event that everybody sort of turns around and watches, because if that, when we only had NBC, ABC, CTV,
the majors.
BBC and CBS. It's like everybody was channeled there. You had 5 main channels like this. Now there's 500.
Thousands. Yeah,
So
exactly.
like this, so if MASH is never your thing, you never have to, like Game of Thrones wasn't my thing whatsoever. I'm not a big fan of fantasy or that type of
Same.
stuff. I know Game of Thrones, all I know about it is that there was a red wedding, and at the end there was a character that everybody loved that made a decision that made everybody go, what the fuck? And that's literally all I know about the show. I know
I don't even know
nothing.
that much.
All I knew was there was an episode that everybody got mad at because it was too dark.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was shot and it was too
Like
dark.
this. Oh yes, and in one episode, somebody's Starbucks coffee cup got
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
funny.
Yes.
But
That's-
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like we are in a gotcha society now.
Yeah.
So when it even comes to fantasy stuff like that, or like somebody said in the comments was like, we need more shows like Breaking Bad and Sopranos. I agree. I love those shows, but at the same time, in 10 years from now, somebody's going to come on, and now James Gandolfini's dead. Oh, he was a fucking asshole.
But
this is what he was like on the set, and now we do a big expose, and that becomes bigger than the actual thing, right? Like, and it
Right.
fucking drives me nuts. It's like,
yeah.
we get it. Everybody's workplace has some problems, and yeah, you know what? We just watched that one. What was that one about? Not Teletoon, but the kids network, Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon, yeah.
So Nickelodeon-
Quiet on set.
Quiet on the set,
Quiet on set.
whatever. It's the same. I get it. So like, there's serious issues which do deserve some sunlight and do deserve to be exposed. 100%, 100%. But now it just seems like nobody's going to want to take any sort of chances. Nobody's going to want to do anything. Like we used to do, groundbreaking, out of the box kind of thing, because all of a sudden now somebody's going to say, well, that guy was an asshole. And in 10 years from now, I'm going to produce a documentary about how much of an asshole he was on the set. Like, if you actually watch Quiet on Set, if you actually watch it and you actually pay attention to the allegations that were happening in there, the guy was just an asshole. He didn't touch kids. He didn't actually, like, there wasn't any sort of like any of
Creepy asshole.
he was creepy. Yeah, 100%. He was calling people at home. He was like involving himself. There was no allegations of sexual assault. There was no allegations of anything like criminal, we'll say. Sure, he was a bit of a fucking overzealous boss. We got to do a 5-part series on how fucking much of a like how involved he was in the. It's the I think we're trying to make reality TV every time we make TV now, and it's
Well, I
TV
think-
jumped the shark is the question I have.
Yeah, okay.
Probably in a way, maybe, but it's also one of those things, right? In this age where everybody's producing content,
Yeah,
it's like we want the backstory, and it's like, and if the backstory originally isn't all that interesting, well, it's like, again, what's the most juicy part of it that you can lift up, like
Yeah.
this, and Mark, so. You could still have nice things, but yeah, I think, but what you're right is just because the pool of money is being, the pool of the audience is being so segmented that it either has to be, like you say, this big, heavy digital effects, big popcorn sort of movie that, you want to see on the big screen.
yeah,
Because it's the experience with the sound and and having it all big and that type of stuff, or a small little movie that might have that a lot of people might rally around and like. But yeah, if you're in that, there's probably not much room for the other type of stuff, because anybody who doesn't want to watch it now has so many other options that they really just don't have to. Whereas sometimes, like I remember back, and I'm still old enough to remember that in the 2 months after the Oscars,
Mhm.
what happened, that was sort of all the movies we got in the can, and let's just sort of kind of release, because it was so far. The Oscars just happened like this, and it was very rare. Like Silence of the Lambs was an oddity in that it came out in March one year and was nominated the following year. But usually movies that come out early, nobody remembers them when
yeah,
comes the time.
yeah. They get cold.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
So right after the Oscars until and after Christmas and whatnot, like that's where those things get, that stuff got dumped.
Yep.
Not anymore. Like this,
No.
there's no more summer rerun season. There's no more. There's always.
You
new
don't look
content.
forward to
There's
fall
no-
TV, like fall premieres of series. Like
Like, so-
I remember like waiting to like watch my favorite TV shows like on Tuesday night, we'll say at 7 p.m. September. I remember being in high school.
Yes.
And you were like, okay, I'm back to school. That means
fall lineup.
that means the fall lineup's coming back. I'm gonna get to watch all my shows after I'm done doing my homework. You know,
Yeah.
like there's no excitement of that anymore. Like there's
no
no
must see TV night. There's no.
That's right. Yeah.
There's-
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So all of that is segment, and then it's the same thing with music right now, right? As well. There's because everything's changed, right? Remember, it's like, oh, he's got a gold album, he's got a platinum album, he's got a. It's like now it's not album sales anymore. It's there are some downloads and streams and whatnot, but it really is you're touring now.
Yeah. Yeah. All their money's made on concerts and tours. You're absolutely right. Because nobody's paying. Spotify
Like this-
doesn't pay. Apple Music doesn't
Yeah.
pay. Yeah.
And,
they're not
and the
making
way
any
we
money
listen
that
to
way.
music for a lot of people has changed too, right? Because I remember when I was a kid, we had 45s singles like this, and you went
Yep.
out and you bought your single and everything. You bought an album like this, and then we had we had like some concept albums and stuff like that where you would go, but you would buy an album like this, or you'd buy a tape or something like that, and you'd listen to it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
This, and then the iPod came along, and we're back down to the jukebox again and 45s again.
Yeah. I
there's-
remember
there's-
buying single cassettes for $9. I remember
Yeah.
going to like an HMV.
Absolutely.
And you'd buy a single because you didn't have the money. You didn't have
Yes.
you didn't have the $18 to buy the whole tape. So you had
Yeah.
the $8 to buy the single tapes.
Yeah,
Seriously,
the
eh?
$6.99
Yeah,
single.
that was
like
the
this,
thing.
or the cassette maxi single that would have a remix on it.
Yeah, you see, Ashley's a different generation. She didn't grow up with that. She didn't go
No,
through that.
That was
I
like
grew-
right
I
after
grew up
that.
with, like CDs and
yeah.
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 I had some. Don't get me wrong. I had some tapes, but I never went and purchased them myself.
But
I
with
was always too young.
CDs came along, and with the skip thing, because of tape, right? You had to fast forward over the whole song.
Yeah.
Like this. So sometimes you'd still listen to it anyway, like this. With the CD, I don't like that song. Skip like this.
Yep.
Or in the first day of the CDs, where you could actually like just program. I want you to play one song 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, like this. So you could just put the CD in and just program the songs that you like.
Yep.
So and it's like when's the last time you've listened to an album beginning to end?
That's a good question.
Actually, I have an answer.
All right. Yeah, go.
Bon Iver for Emma is one of the
Okay.
greatest albums ever. And I listened to that in full like a week ago cleaning the house,
And does it flow like from first song to last
Yeah,
song?
it
One
kind
of
of
those?
does. And the lyrics are so good and it's such good singing. I wish we could play something from it. You can find
Yeah.
a cover of the song
Mhm.
Stacks.
I'm not gonna mess
Well,
with it every time we
whoever,
do it.
Whoever is in the chat, go look up Bon Iver, Boniver, and then a song called Stacks, and it's the greatest. It's like a college nostalgia songs, right? It's like
Yeah.
guitar and whatever. Like
What was
it's one guy
Yeah.
in a cabin for like I don't know, like 3 weeks or whatever it was, doing everything, and it's so rich
Wow.
when you hear it that you're just like, holy shit! He did the production, he did the under vocals, he did the vocals, the guitar playing, the drum playing, everything. And I consider it a masterpiece. Like it's a
I
really good song.
remember the days of liner notes and
Yes.
like
I would
sitting
read
and
them every time.
reading
Yes.
the fucking album cover and like
Yes.
studying it like it was like a forensic investigation to
Yes.
see if you can get something out of it. You're like, oh,
And you're saying like, oh my God, Stevie Ray Vaughan played guitar on this song.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this,
You
or-
learned about
or-
like
this, or it's
session musicians that you would have never fucking guessed that were like
Like,
big
or it's like-
top
it's like-
names that
Or
were
you
like,
said like this. I remember Cyndi Lauper's album. Well, She's So
Yes.
Unusual. I'm reading the liner notes. So it was like what Prince wrote when you were
Mhm.
mine.
yeah. And today
was
it's so throwaway. It just seems so mechanical and so like, and this is what I mean about like TV, all media that we consume now is just like this. It's like, it's get it
Because
out there.
saturation became the business model.
Yeah. And it's
Right?
fucking, it sucks. It killed the romance of actually escaping your 9 to 5 job, coming home, pouring a fucking drink, putting a record on, watching a TV show that you love, getting excited like we were saying about the fall lineups, all that stuff. My kid doesn't understand that. They don't because they can just watch whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like they can put it on whenever it's
Yeah.
it drops.
Yeah.
and
Remember when even before VCRs, when you actually had to be in front of the TV to watch it because it was
Yeah.
only on once, and if you missed it, you missed it.
yeah. James, somebody was asking, what was the song "Stacks" by Bonnie?
Bon
Bon
Iver.
Iver.
Boniver.
Yeah.
Stacks. Yeah. It's a great song. But that whole
See, for
album,
me with the albums, it's like for me, it's the Janet Jackson albums when I grew up. I guess Control, Rhythm. Control was one thing; it had a life from beginning to the other. But then from Rhythm Nation, when they had like little snippets between the songs, like she had like little, sometimes 23-second little things where she would say something to connect the songs.
Yeah,
So you would listen to that from beginning to end, and you couldn't put that on shuffle and repeat because sometimes like this, you'd get the 23-second thing,
It
and
would
then
cut
another
it.
27 thing, and you'd miss things, and it would cut. So you
Yeah.
had to listen to it like this.
yeah, or
There's-
hidden tracks. Remember, there were so many
Yes.
artists that did the hidden tracks at the end of the end of the CD.
Yes, there'd be
Um,
like a minute or 2 minutes of blank space before, and then another track would just be put on. That was never
One-
anywhere.
One that you're familiar with is Tom Petty when it would go from A side to B side. Remember that the Flacco Wow-Wahs? Like it was just so funny. It was like it didn't mean anything, but it was like what a cool little Easter egg in that
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that album.
Green Day had a fun one. that
Yeah.
they used to- yeah.
Peaches
Vitalogy was pretty good.
wasn't
Pearl Jam
Peaches. Wasn't the song Peaches? Who was that? Millions of Peaches.
album.
Uh,
Presidents of
yeah.
the United
President of
States.
the United States. Was that not a hidden track?
no,
I thought
don't
it was.
know, maybe.
I thought that was a hidden track on that album when it came out.
it was like their only.
Did you know that Creep from Radiohead
No, they
was
had Love as well.
Creep from
Creep?
Radiohead was originally a soundcheck song.
No way.
Really?
Should have stayed that way.
What?
No.
Ashley hates Radiohead. Hates Radiohead. This is so good.
I do
I'm
like
gonna make a
Creep,
drink.
though.
You guys can yell at her.
Whiny shit.
I just got rid of her. I'm just
Oh.
How do you not like that song? That's like one of the greatest songs ever. Like it really is. It's like my top. It's in my top 20 of songs.
I think I know what it's about. It's more about karaoke than
Yeah,
anything,
work
isn't
at a
it?
karaoke bar and listen to 25 different losers sing it.
They're
Oh,
ruining a masterpiece, man.
yes.
Yeah, a lot of masterpieces get ruined for you when you work at a karaoke bar, unfortunately.
I bet. You can't hold that against Radiohead though. That's a great song.
No, but I do think that guy sounds like a whiny bitch. I'm just not a fan of the sound. I'm not.
Taking over the
I,
role of
um,
James on this podcast, Ashley.
I like. I think I like maybe one or two songs by them. I know I like. Fake Plastic Trees was always kind of cool. I dug that. It had a cool psychedelic thing going on. But
OK Computer was a great album. Oh my god.
yeah, otherwise I just don't. I'm not really into it.
And the Benz is fucking. I think that band is like. I think they're better than Nirvana. They're better than all those grunge groups. They're better than a lot of groups back then. Their songwriting is so good. But if you got ruined by karaoke, then I guess that's another point. But
I already didn't love them. It just didn't help. That song in particular, now I hate because of karaoke.
That's
Radiohead,
my-
I already thought sucked.
Creep is my daughter's favorite lullaby song.
That's cute. Like because you
And
can
she
actually
sings it.
if you're changing it
Really?
up. But
She sings it. She's like, "You float like a feather." Like she's just all into it. And then we sing the chorus together and everything. And then when that bridge comes, Shira, like we both start singing it, belting it at the top of our lungs. Oh yeah, she loves that song. And then the other one is Douglas. You might know. Actually, you might know this song. I can't remember who sings it, but put your dreams away for now. I have seen you for some time. I get lost in my mind. I am lost. It's so good. Heart in the Head or something. Someone looks it up. It's called Lost in Your Mind, and I don't remember the artist name, but it's just fantastic.
The Head and the Heart
I
lost in
can't
my
say I've
mind.
heard it.
Yes, the Head and the Heart. What is it called?
The Head and the Heart lost in my mind.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
great song. It's a really good song. So look up that one too, because
All right.
she likes that one. She likes Nothing Compares to You. She likes that one.
Yes.
She likes it when I sing Beastie Boys song, but I sing it like a lullaby. I sing Paul Revere to her, so that's good. So she likes that one.
Olivia like a lullaby?
Yeah, she's like, I'm like,
Nice.
here's a little story I got to tell about a little girl named Lizzie that I know so well, and I just sing the whole thing. She's like, yay, but she likes lullabies, and it puts her to
Record
sleep.
that.
It actually puts her to sleep. By the second lullaby, she's done. That could be a defense mechanism because of the horrible singing. Who knows, right? But like, she actually You know, I can sing my daughter to sleep. It feels like a fairy tale
Oh
because
my
I'm
God,
such a
that's so
schmaltzy idiot,
wonderful.
you know. But I cherish that shit. You know?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
loving- My mom, my lullaby, she used to sing to me the jazz standards from like the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Those were my lullabies.
Nice.
Any wonder I turned out gay? Any wonder?
Someone wrote Matthew Good, Hopeless. Who sings Apparitions? You know, is it I think it might be Matthew Good.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
sounds like a Matthew Good thing.
Yeah.
Apparition.
Yeah, I know the
whatever.
song.
It's a great song. That's another. That probably sounds too much like Radiohead for you, Ashley. But
Yeah, it's
like,
very breathy and whiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get apparitions. Yeah.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not that bad.
Okay, I'm going to be super cheesy.
Oh.
I stumbled across by pure accident, had no idea it even existed, a song the other day, and because I am so gay. Okay, look.
It's Barbara Streisand, isn't it?
Okay, no, Vanessa Williams. Remember Vanessa Williams?
She was okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. She's 50 something now.
Holy
Thing
shit.
this. Yeah, and she's got the song called "The Legs Are the Last to Go."
It's a Tina Turner
was just
reference, I
about
would
to say
imagine.
that.
Yeah.
Sort of like that. Yeah. So the legs are the last to go. So I'm keep dancing, and like this, and I just like I'm looking Vanessa. Well, really, she's got another song on. I clicked it. I am
Good.
It's a dance tune, right? So,
Okay.
so it's a jam, you know, like this. I like it. I just don't know if I'm supposed to like for example, I like Banana.
Doesn't make you
Rama, and I know
extra
nobody-
gay, Douglas. It's okay.
No, but I like Banana, but I know I'm not supposed to. So it's like my dirty little secret, right? It's like this because it goes, oh my God, Banana Rama. Like
Douglas puts the
but
banana in Bananarama. Go ahead, Douglas.
But I mean, like Vanessa Williams is like, right? She was Miss America, and then she lost her crown because of the penthouse thing, like this. And we gays just love a tragic figure that leads
For
into
sure.
redemption. And then she gets like later on, you know, she gets like saved the best for last, and then Colors of the Wind, and then she gets the Ugly Betty thing, like this, and then you know, and then and so she sort of comes and goes, right? But she's never been like huge.
Isn't the
All the
world
time?
a crazy place?
Yes, that's her. Yeah.
Just when I thought the chance had passed, you go and save the. See, it's stuck in my fucking head. I've not heard
Yes.
that song in over a decade, and it's still there.
Well, yeah, it's like that. So, but yeah, she's put this. I swear, people, this it's probably one of those cheesy songs that you probably shouldn't like and that you do like this. But,
Yeah.
but she's in there. She is like shaking. She is dancing. She is moving. She is like. She looks real good. Like this, I'm just like, yes, queen. It's Mama V. It's Mama V.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I see. There's comments in there about Matthew Good. I've got fucking stories about that guy, man. I'll tell you. Probably one of the. I used to do security and medical as a chairman for festivals around the province, and our company that I worked for. That's what we did. Like we were a production company, and so we worked for a producer, and we were subcontracted under the producer, right? So. Matthew Good was probably one of my most favorite people in the world, only because, and I'm not saying like I don't mind his music. Matthew Good's okay. To me, it's not my cup of tea, but at the same
Well,
time,
whiny little bitch.
well, no, I understand.
Right, Ashley?
Word.
Yeah, but listen, I get that there's some talent there. Don't you can't deny that. There's a lot of artists that I don't appreciate the
I didn't say I could do better.
and that's kind of it, right? Like, so I get it. And so we were doing this festival, this music. It was the Dunnville Music Festival in Dunnville, Ontario, of all places, at the airport. And this is Douglas. You might remember this actually because there was a scandal involved with the government with this. Do you remember when? And this is back in the early 2000s when Human Resources Development Canada was giving out these grants to these local places to do.
I was working there when that happened.
Okay, so we were one of the festivals that received. We went from a grassroots festival where we had local bands, we did whatever, and then all of a sudden somebody's like, "I'm going to apply for this grant thing." Next thing you know, we got almost $500,000 in fucking money from the feds to put on a concert for a weekend. and it exploded. So they hired the company that I was working for. And we went from driving around in golf carts to driving around in nice brand new F-150s and everything else, like one of those, like, but we also upped the caliber of artists, which also upped the ticket prices and upped the ticket sales, and actually did bring money into the community. So yes, I understand people thought it was a scandal, but at the same time, it did actually do some development in the town. So that aside, Matthew Good was one of our, at the time, because like I say, early 2000s, he was fucking massive, right? Massive. And one of the things he wanted to do was to light, he had this big, crazy fucking teddy bear thing that he was going to douse in like lighter fluid and throw, like set it on fire.
Sounds dangerous.
So we had a pre-production meeting about it with their management, and we said, no, absolutely not. From a safety standpoint, you can't do it. Like we just can't. The stage is not equipped for that. There's no fire suppressant. There's nothing that, like, it's like, from a logistics standpoint, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
So when he went on stage that night, he brought the teddy bear out, and he knew, because he was part of these meetings with us. He was actually there, like, and he's a super nice guy, and he's a super reasonable dude, and he agreed to it. But then he brought the teddy bear on stage. So what we did as a team, as the safety team, I went and equipped all of the, so you know how when you go to a concert, there's always security in front of the stage?
Right.
I gave them all fire extinguishers, and I told them, the minute he brings that fucking teddy bear out, you turn around, you point him at him. And they did. And it became a joke, like a running joke. He never lit it on fire. It was really funny. It was almost like an inside joke where he had to bring the audience in on it. He's like, there's a reason why security is not looking at you now, and they're only looking at me. and they're all standing there with the things, pins out, holding it, ready to fire these fire extinguishers at him, because I said, the minute he lights that fucking bear up, you guys fucking douse him.
Yeah,
I don't care. Douse him, put him out. I got so many fucking funny stories. Ashley McIsaac, that guy's a fucking dick. We revoked his fucking money and kicked him out and banned him from the festival grounds. We didn't pay him his money. Teenage Head
didn't deserve it.
Teenage Head literally trashed Jeff Healy's fucking green room.
No one should turn a blind eye to that.
Well,
that's why
that was why they did it. So his road manager was his sister, right? At the time, she was part of his production team, and she came to us in like full tears. She's like, they're saying that it doesn't matter because what's he going to know? He's not going to see anything. Meanwhile, they're literally. So we had the OPP escort Teenage Head off the fucking property of the festival and didn't pay them either. We saved so much money with these assholes. They're like, we're not taking your shit. No problem.
Look at all this entertainment we didn't have to pay.
But I saw Matthew Good, so I thought I should tell the Matthew Good story. Who was the guy from what's the shit? The one that I told you the story about Paul. Anyway, I'm not going to do this on the air, but it's I've got so many fucking weird stories about people that just thought they were too big for themselves, that got humbled by a bunch of fucking festival security people. It was so good.
Those are my favorite celebrity stories, like the ones where, you know, it doesn't matter that the other side is nobody's or is comprised of nobody's.
We had the power. We had the control.
Totally. I was, but then there's the flip side sometimes where it's like,
we had fun stories too, though. Yeah, you're right.
It had nothing to do with work, but I've met a lot of musicians and rappers and stuff. And I was in New York in, I think it was 1997. It was the same trip that I knocked out Wayne Gretzky's wife. True story. But that you
can you elaborate on that before you go forward? Why'd you knock her out?
I think I'm stop you right there.
It is a 100% true story, and my friend David, the cowboy that comes on sometimes, was with me, and he is the last person ever to embellish the story. So, like, I usually want to tell the story when he's there, so that his co-signing will make me seem more credible, because it's a Seinfeld episode. It really is. I was at my sister's house in her apartment, really small apartment in a gorgeous building at West 72nd and West End Highway. And Dave and I walked from there down to Madison Square Garden. There was a job fair going on. We pretended we were part of the job fair, and then we found a custodial door. And I'm like, Dave, come on. And we went through this custodial door, and we started walking around. And then we left a different door, and we were in this purple hallway that was slanting down towards this area that had couches and tinted glass. And and that was over the ice. That was over the ice. So we were in like
shit.
these, like the owner's box or something like that. And it wasn't a box; it was this huge room. And there's something there called the Players Lounge, but it was closed. And then we went down these escalators that were stationary and walked through where it's not where the Zamboni comes. It's actually the press row in Madison Square Garden has a laneway. And oftentimes, I don't know if like the visiting team uses that or both teams, but it's right behind the media at Center Ice. And we walked to the ice and we walked along that laneway and went to the front row, first two seats. And we're just kind of taking it all in. Like we were 20, you know, like
Yeah,
and
of
we were
course.
just like, we're in Madison Square Garden. We're not supposed to be there.
Mesmerizing.
Like the fat guy said in
Iconic venue,
Shawshank,
yeah.
like the fat guy said in Shawshank Redemption, you don't understand. I'm not supposed to be here. And we're sitting there and there's these guys that are like cleaning up on the other side of the rink.
Yeah.
And Dave's like, James, like, fuck, you know, what are we gonna do? So I took out the New York City subway map and I'm holding it up and I'm pointing at the rafters as if I'm some fucking architect or something, right? Like I'm just doing
As
it,
you
right?
do.
As a sleight of hand, you know?
Yeah.
And then Dave's like, they're not buying it. And one of them started to walk over. So because I had just two beers at this time, I wanted to, and I was
That is
20
all.
and I was 20 and stupid. So I started banging on the glass as hard as I could, making the shit like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then all you hear is, hey, what are you guys doing over there? And then we ran down more escalators and hallways and we jumped down and we see the guy that initially denied us to get in and we had to go through another door. And he's like, where you guys supposed to be? And I'm like, the
Down
exit?
here.
And he's like, it's right there. And I'm like, okay. And we left.
Oh shit.
And then we went to the Allstate Cafe that night and I was eating my French fries and mayonnaise or whatever. And right.
What are you, Swedish?
And
You mix it with ketchup, it's great.
yeah, and on the TV there was the hockey game. The hockey game was showing the Rangers and Ulf Samuelsson body checked someone into the glass and the glass fell and knocked out Gretzky's wife. And the commentator commented on how quickly the stretcher got there because they were seated in the front row right beside that laneway.
Yeah.
So
how did you knock her out?
Because the pane of glass that fell was the exact pane of glass that we were shaking like 3 hours earlier.
Oh, I see. So you sabotaged.
Loosen it up, yeah.
You sabotaged her.
I was an accidental sabotage. It wasn't, on purpose. That's what happened.
Awful.
But that's a Seinfeld episode in a way. Like that's something
for sure.
Kramer would do that. Like when he hit
That's like the golf ball in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say the golf ball in the whale's spout hole. Yeah,
That's right.
That's exactly it. I've got
It's
great.
like a marine biologist.
Is anybody here a marine biologist? Is anybody here a neurosurgeon?
He was angry that day, my friends.
I had a lot of really good encounters too in that job that I did. Like I met some like really down to earth. You know who my favorite people in the world were? I had two. Tragically Hip, by the way, stellar. So I had three. The Hip, fantastic guys just to hang out with. I met them in a very, very intimate engagement at a winery in Niagara that we provided security services for. Fantastic. Like everybody from their production crew, from their roadies to the band members, just so they fed off of Gord's energy. And you've seen Gordy. The guy you see on TV is the exact same guy you'll meet. Like if you were to ever have met him, rest his soul, that was him, and that transpired throughout the entire band. That's why they were so beloved. I swear to God. The other one was Bare Naked Ladies. Bare Naked Ladies, and this was like even during Stephen Page's transgressions, they were still fantastic to hang out with. They were so fun. But the number one band, and this will stick with me forever when it comes to and call them what you want, but I think guys like Blue Rodeo might be a little more on a global recognition stage than even the Tragically Hip. Tragically Hip was very Canadiana. Blue Rodeo does transcend borders a little more just because they're a little more mainstream. And meeting those guys, one of their riders in their contract when they played the festival that we were at was, you have to find us the most, like the hottest chicken wings that are locally sourced. So find the local purveyor or the local supplier of like whatever. It could come from a pizza shack, it could come from a restaurant, but whoever's got like the spiciest, tastiest chicken wings, and they
Too
wanted.
bad it's not you now, because you could have made the sauce yourself.
I could do it me. Yeah, I could have done it. Like this is back before I was cooking, right? So
blown off some socks, made friends for life.
fuck yeah, right? Well, I almost did, and I think I might have.
You did pretty well.
Yeah. So for some reason, my brother, who was a local to the it was a small town festival, but he happened to live in the town that we were actually providing the services in. So the production manager came to my brother and said, "Listen, you're from here. Who's got the best chicken wings in town? Like Blue Rodeo wants good chicken wings." So we're like, "Okay, let's find." So my brother knew this guy that owned a pizza shop, and he said, "Listen, I need you to and he goes, "Oh, I'll just bake them and sauce them and bake them again and put this crazy fucking peppers and blah blah blah." Ends up making these blow the top of your head off wings. So my friend Paul, who I had because you have friends and when you're in this business, it's not really a business. You're a bunch of guys trying to have a good time, but you're trying to be professional about it at the same time. But you're like, I'm going to bring all my friends that I can. You want to come and hang out in the VIP with me? We're fucking meeting people. We were fangirling. I got to hang out with David Wilcox and had a Diet Coke with David Wilcox because he was sober at the time. This is the kind of shit. It was oh my God, I was in my 20s. So we're walking around, and the way they used to run it was in the VIP area. And this is again after HRDC had given us the money. We were able, instead of putting them in the hangars with remember those old classroom dividers that you used to have those big.
Yes.
Well, that's the way we used to do it. So now we had these beautiful trailers that we rented from Sicard's trailer rental or whatever, and they had an actual place to go with these big pull out trailer things with extra rooms and all this shit. In the VIP area, during the day when the day acts were on, the VIP area, there were speakers, and you would pump the music of the headliner of that night. So that night was Blue Rodeo. So we always had whoever was headlining, that music was pumping through the speakers. So my friend Paul and I were walking through the VIP, and we were singing along with a Blue Rodeo song because again, the chairman of security and medical, I'm half cut. I was drunk the entire time I was there, driving around in a golf cart. This was the same year, by the way, that the OPP. Remember when the OPP came out with the Stetson hats?
Yes.
Remember they had those Stetsons
Really?
that looked like
Right.
cowboys?
Yeah.
It was the same year as this. So I had made a deal with an OPP officer. I said, I want your hat. And he says, well, I want a golf cart because I don't want to drive my OPP cruiser around the entire. I'm like, okay, I'll get you a golf cart if you give me your hat. So I was riding around. This is when I met Natalie, not Natalie and Bruglia. What's her name? Furtado. And this was also the first year, by the way, topless in Ontario was allowed. So people were getting bikini tops painted on. So she was a nobody at the time. So her and her friend, they were a day act, had tops painted on. So I have a picture that I will eventually find and show you guys of myself and her and her friend and my friend Paul with them on our golf cart with the painted on tops. It's like one of those like National Enquirer sort of deals, right? So we're singing the song. Back to the story. We're singing the song, and we hear somebody else start singing with us. And we're like, oh, right on. It's Jim Cuddy, the lead singer of Blue Rodeo.
No way.
Right? So he's singing along while we're singing. And I'm like, holy fuck, it's Jim Cuddy. But I'm trying not to do that because I'm actually like a somebody that's supposed to be a big deal there, right? So I'm like, oh, hi, Jim. Nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. First question I was most, hey, where'd these wings come from, guys? Who got the wings? I said, fuck. I said, actually, it was my brother. Get in here. You got to try these. These are insane. So we sat there and ate like hot chicken wings with Blue Rodeo. And great time. That night, it was perfect because we had a rainstorm during the day. So at night, it got really foggy. So when they came on stage, the blue lights, everything was like a blue fog throughout the crowd.
Nice.
Like it was just like the ambiance was fucking perfect. Like it was picturesque. It was really cool. So fast forward, and this is where I'm saying, this is where you find out who the real Menches are. Nice butt. Right in the camera. Good for you.
It's pronounced Beyonce.
So like years later, I'm in a Canyon Creek Steakhouse in Mississauga with another friend of mine, not the same guy. And we were going to see this is when IMAX first came out, the IMAX theaters. And the first one in our area was in Mississauga. So we were going to see this IMAX thing. It was an afternoon thing. It was a totally like one-off, like a Thursday. It was like fucking, So we went to Canyon Creek for a couple of drinks and a bite to eat before we went to the movie. And there's Jim Cuddy sitting at a table, and he's got like papers out, like he's dealing with somebody. He's talking about something with somebody. It looked like they were in the middle of a business meeting. He gets up to go to the bathroom, walks past the table, and like I say, this is a couple of years later, stops and he looks at me, he goes, I know you. I'm like, I know you. He goes, yeah. He goes, Ryan, Dunnville Music Festival, chicken wings. And I'm like, Jim, this is awesome. Like, so I'm looking at my friend Matt, like my buddy's sitting there going, Jesus Christ, you know him? I'm like, yeah, fuck, we go way back, like car seats, not very far, but we go back. It's fine, you know. Yeah, like one of those, right? So it's when you talk about people
questions, it falls apart.
When you ask, when you're talking about people that actually, they just seem down to earth. That was one of them, and I'll never ever forget that encounter. And I hope I run into him one day. And I swear to God, I'll bring him a bottle of hot sauce if I do.
Yeah, right.
He'll be like, Brian, Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's close enough.
That's fine. I don't care.
Brian, Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
In the billiard room with the
Yeah,
rent.
it was me. That was me. I'm the one who blew you in the closet. Sure, I don't care. You know, we're friends. I don't. Now we're buddies. If I can be friends with Jim Cuddy all the time, I'm good with that.
No,
I have a funny story about the night that I debated Rob Ford and Smitherman and the rest of those guys.
The Merrill. Yeah.
Yeah, at the Art Gallery of Ontario. I left, and I went by myself to my buddy's bar, the Duke of York, at St. George and Bloor in Toronto. And I walked in. I emailed you the story, but it was only because I wasn't sure what the last name of the singers of this group was. But it's okay. You know, I'm not looking to read that or anything. But there's a photo there. But I'm standing there, and this guy walks up to the bar. And I looked at him, and the words just came out of my mouth. I just wasn't even thinking. I'm like, are you a musician? And he's like, yes, I am. And I'm like, okay. I don't quite call who it is. And my buddy Dan's like, that's the lead singer of the Sky Diggers. That's Andy. And I'm like, oh hey, Andy. Nice to meet you. Andy Mays, I think his name is.
Shit.
I love the Sky Diggers. Yeah. Just Over This Mountain is like one of the greatest albums ever. And so we had a beer or whatever. And then I went outside to have a smoke. There's James, 14 years ago, whatever that is.
Great hair there, though.
Look at that fucking bouffant on the guy. Holy shit.
Great hair.
I've been bald for fucking ever, by the way. Look at me. But and then I went outside to have a smoke, and Stephen Page is outside. It's just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking, and he told me that he got his entire stage presence from Andy Mays. I'm like, really?
Seriously?
Like, that's what he told me. And I was just like, wow, that's an interesting fact. I never would have guessed it. By the way, I really, really, really like Stephen Page. I don't.
So do I.
They're not the Bare Naked Ladies.
They're starting to come back, though, I heard.
Well, that'd be great
again
because they're not the Bare Naked. Because Stephen Page is the singer in that group. I know the other guy's talented and everything. I'm not trying to take anything away, but you know, I think that, and the Bare Naked Ladies were so hardworking. There he is. They're so hardworking. Like they did the Frosh tour in Canada like so many fucking times before they made it in the States.
100%. Yeah.
And they barely made it here at first. Like I think Lovers in a Dangerous Time is one of the greatest remakes of a song ever.
100%.
Better than Bruce Coburn's or whatever that was.
That is a really good song.
Yeah. It's so good. And they started out with nothing, right? Like, and they just worked. They put in the work.
Not taking anything away from Bruce Coburn, but I totally agree with you. Mm-hmm. Like it's such a good, like it's one of my favorite lyrics in a song.
Yeah,
you got to kick at the darkness till it bleeds daylight. That is so poignant, and I've always like that always hit. You know what I mean? And then you watch the video of them doing it. They're just driving around Scarborough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a pickup truck. It's like holy shit.
That's hilarious. Yeah, and you know they're really good. There's a bunch of Canadian bands that did that for me. Like. And one of my favorite, I met him once.
April Wine were really cool too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I like Eric's Trip. Do you remember them?
Eric's Trip?
Yeah, Eric's Trip was a good band. There's a bunch. My favorite American band for a couple of years because I don't know if their debut album was the greatest album I've ever heard, which was August and Everything After by the Counting Crows. That album was amazing.
And that guy, we want to talk about a fucking pussy. We want to talk about a pussy hound.
Oh, really?
That guy.
Oh, yeah. He's two of the friends. 2 out of 3 friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That guy fucked everybody. Everybody. Howard Stern has talked to him about this.
Really?
That guy is like the Wilt Chamberlain of fucking rock and roll.
Is he sorry?
No.
Oh,
But they were.
No.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently. And he's not a looker, really. Like if you think about it, he's not like a classically handsome dude. Like he's just a normal looking guy. But
He's a great writer, though, eh?
He's such a
Step
poet.
out the front door like a ghost into a fog where no one notices the contrast of white on white.
Yeah.
Like he's just good. You know,
Yeah.
like he's just
Like I get
really good
goosebumps when I hear like a lyricist, like a real actual writer,
Yeah.
you know, like damn it.
Yeah, that was a great album. And then so it's interesting because when I met the Skydiggers, so in 1994, this is sort of what the story's about, but in 1994, I moved to Bella Coola to be to work for my uncle who was an environmental like forest ranger kind of thing. So
Yeah.
he would find like tailed frogs and then tell the logging companies you can't log here, basically.
Yeah.
So my job was we were doing creek clearing. So it's July, you go to Bella Coola, which is in the middle of the Rockies. It's like adjacent to the Queen Charlotte Islands on the mainland in British Columbia.
Okay.
And really amazing nature and everything. So we would take a helicopter to the top of some snow-capped mountain, find the trickle, and then look down because it was a barren wasteland of clear cut that they never actually picked up. So often they would leave like 70% of what they cut and just fuck off, right?
Yeah.
And so people like my uncle would go in and chainsaw from the cap down to where the river basin meets another river kind of thing. And so it started as a trickle. And by the time we were done, it would be like 12 foot, like back to its, like we restored it back to its wide river self or whatever. And the only thing I listened to was August and Everything After and the Skydiggers just over this mountain. And so I told, and listen, I'm like, I'm not a stan. I just want to open by saying that.
No.
You know,
I get it.
but we talked for like an hour.
I
and a
am
half.
sometimes.
I don't. Yeah, I'll get to that. I think I've only been a stan twice. Once was with Matt Damon, but he didn't know it. In my brain, I was just like Matt Damon.
Probably
Like,
He didn't know we were best friends.
Matt Damon.
yeah. So, but this guy, I was like, I'm going to tell you something because I don't know if anyone's ever told you this, but you know, I didn't buy any of your other albums, and not because I'm not whatever. I just didn't really buy music, but I bought Just Over This Mountain. And when I was listening to it, I was in the most mountainous area in all of Canada,
How
and it
convenient.
kind of got me through. Like my ex and I got together, we hooked up the day before I left, and because I was an idiot with relationships, I was like, and now I'm leaving her to go there, and I'm not going to be able to have her when I get back, and I was over romanticizing everything, and he was like, he's like, no one's ever told me that. That my music was the soundtrack of their summer, like you just did, and
That's
he's
wild.
just like, I don't even know what to say right now.
He was
I'm like,
humbled by
well,
it.
He welled up a little bit because
That's the best.
I was reciting his lyrics, right? I was like, you know,
But it validates your love of that art. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it validates it because you know it's coming from a place that's not just like I'm just churning shit out. I want to do this for like I'm doing it for people like you.
yeah, exactly. And he was so gracious and so nice. And by the way, he's only Canada famous, right? Like it's not like
Yeah.
he's like this, but still, to me,
doesn't
It
matter.
was more
Yeah.
rewarding. Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. To me, it was more rewarding meeting him and having a moment where I could tell this guy, look, I'm so appreciative of your art because it really did kind of have like I could navigate. I was 18, you know, I could navigate through, you know, my troubles or worries or stresses by listening to your cassette tape, right? Like
It's
that's
wild.
what I did. And then you meet the guy, and he's just as lovely as you hope he would be.
Yeah, he
And
was the
you're-
guy that wrote that song, and it makes sense.
And it's good reconciliation for how I was feeling at the time. That wow, imagine if he was a dick. It would have just ruined the memory almost, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do they
I'm
say?
gonna-
You know, never meet your
Don't
heroes.
Don't meet your
right?
heroes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was.
I'm
thinking.
gonna reserve my story about Joe Walsh because we've been kind of overtaking. I want to know, Douglas, favorite celebrity musically that you've ever met.
Sarah McLachlan.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like Sarah McLachlan. You know what?
Okay, yeah, that's a
she's
good one.
she's the butt of my joke every time something bad happens with our
Yeah.
dog.
Every time.
Every time I'm like, the dog is calling Sarah McLachlan right now.
Yeah. Now the thing is,
Yeah.
I haven't met too many celebrities at all. So
How is that
but
possible with your like what you do and where you live? Like I don't believe that yet.
no,
I-
it
really?
no,
Because
yeah,
of where he
I-
lives.
I-
Kingston's not crawling with celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've worked in circles where you would think that
No.
Really,
no,
eh?
Not really. No, not
Okay.
celebrities. Not celebrities. I've a couple of politicians and stuff like that. Not celebrities, but Sarah McLachlan was just pure dumb luck. I was at a swim meet in New York City, and
Oh shit! So not even in
her,
this country.
no, her album fumbling,
Convenient.
fumbling. Oh god,
Fumbling
Towards
the
Ecstasy.
story.
Towards Ecstasy was released, and I think it was it had been released in Canada already. Like this was just being released in the States, and she was at Tower Records just outside Harlem, and our swim
No
pool
shit.
was the asphalt green pool in Harlem. So I had the first and the last event of the day every day
Yeah.
at the pool. So I swam my first event, and then I got dressed. And I ran to Tower Records, and I waited in line, and she signed my cassette, Fumbling Towards Ecstasy, and then I ran back to the pool and typed my last event for the day.
Did you have
Because-
like that Canadian to Canadian moment, or
Yeah,
like, were you able to
yeah.
actually like relay that
Yeah.
back and forth?
Yeah, really. I mean, it was very quick, of course.
Of course,
because
yeah.
It's in New York City,
Mhm.
and she was blowing up.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
what
know,
year
it
was
like,
that?
It's like keep it moving. 1994.
Holy shit! I was
Yeah.
14.
Yeah.
Wow,
So it
you
was,
were 4. Ashley was 4.
Shut up.
I was 18. Yeah.
So that was what. But no, I haven't. I haven't had the fortune of being in the room with too many celebrities. I think if I had to say another one, I don't know if it should count. It doesn't count as a celebrity, I guess, in some ways, but to me it is. It's Craig Saville, who was a curler. He was on Team Canada. I believe he won the gold medal.
Oh
that
shit!
counts.
I believe we won a gold
Yeah,
medal
that
at the
counts.
Olympics. Yeah, and we were at a curling tournament in Bonspiel in Ottawa. And it's the Ottawa Curling Club is the same club that Rachel Holman curls out of.
Okay.
Yes. So I was curling out of there, and at the end of the year, they have a bonspiel called the Gordy Perry, which is like at the beginning of May or the end of April, but after everything's over. So sometimes some of the curlers that you see on TV show up for it because it's like the last hurrah. They get. So he was there with his wife, and at the bank, when you talk about getting seated together at the closing banquet, I was at the table with Craig Saville and his wife,
Holy shit!
trying my best not to
Nice.
like make an ass out of myself.
Fangirl out
It's
of
like,
it. Yeah.
freaking Craig Saville.
Well, hello.
So, gee, Olympic gold medal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
one
that's-
was
that's a
like,
big
I was just
one.
like,
Oh.
I'm having dinner with Craig Saville.
I just had a thought.
His wife
back,
is a hoot.
back to what James said about you. Like, oh, how could he lives in Kingston? Tragically Hip was from Kingston. Did you not ever see the Hip in town, like at home?
Nope.
Really, eh? Damn.
I never bumped into them. No.
Did you have a chance to go to the last show that they played in Kingston or no? What
No.
happened?
We were out of town.
Oh, fuck.
Family birthday or holiday or something. So we were out of town for it. No, but
Ashley,
but
what
no,
a-
I do remember. I remember we were out of town. Yeah, it was a family engagement.
Other than Spenny, what was your favorite, Ashley?
My brush with fame.
Ashley's inaugural introduction with Spenny, by the way, Douglas, wasn't that
Okay.
great.
No.
We're friends now. Everybody's cool, but
I was like 20 though. This is
yeah,
a
this
long
is a
time
long time. This is like 14 years ago, but and we've talked about it on the show, but it wasn't that
weird.
great. Other than Spenny, what was your favorite? What's your most memorable celebrity encounter?
Meeting Nine Inch Nails was pretty cool.
Yeah, Trent
Reznor was
Reznor.
nice.
Yeah, you got a good picture with him too, actually.
Yeah, I got a picture of Trent Reznor with his arm around me.
Yeah.
He knew that I was nervous as hell.
You smelled his like fresh leather. I
Oh,
know
yeah, he
you.
smelled like leather. It was beautiful. He's also the same height as me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not a big dude.
Oh, he's a small guy.
Yeah, he's a very, very little guy.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at that picture, he's only like
Maybe a bit.
5'6", 5'7".
No shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was. I thought because he seems like a big dude.
Large presence, I know.
Yeah.
But no, not a big dude.
No shit.
But he knew that I was absolutely freaking out. I was trembling because it was like a group photo thing where everybody was with the band. And
Yeah.
he came over and just like threw his arm around me like, okay, we're in the group photo. And I was like, holy shit, it's me.
I
I'm
get
the
to be
one.
there.
Trent Reznor has picked me to rest his arm upon today. I'm going to shit my pants. So he leaned over and he whispered in my ear. He was like, I could stand with somebody else. And I was like, no, you're going to stay right here. It's going to be great. It's fine. Just hold on a little tighter. And
Show me the
Yeah,
photo.
it was a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I have a terrible picture from it.
It's a horribly cropped photo, but
I don't care.
It looks good.
Yeah.
You should see your face in this picture, though. It's hilarious. It is really funny.
Very, very.
Yeah.
It was really sunny. Trailer Park Boys was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you got to meet. Well,
Like, most of the cast for that was just like absolutely stellar.
most.
And then Bubbles hit on me, and that got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Douglas. Just so you know,
Rest of the
Okay.
guys super nice.
can you tell the audience what Bubbles said to you?
Bubbles told me that he was just a big freaking kitty that wanted to be snuggled, and I wasn't okay with
It wasn't sweet.
I wasn't okay. Yeah, he was like whispering in my ear and purring and stuff, and I was like, "You need to go. I'm not comfortable."
Yeah.
Very awkward. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that one.
Dude stole my move.
Isn't that right?
Beavers
one.
don't purr.
Tough one.
You got to slap your tail, baby.
And then one time I was just being like
Listen to
super. He's got a good one going there. I was being super Canadian, and I just held the door for somebody, and it was the singer from Mother Mother. And I was like, "What's up, Ryan? How you doing?"
You're a huge fan of them too. Every time they come on the radio, I can't change the channel.
Well, I was going to see them that night. That's the funny thing. So I was like, ho, I can't wait to see you tonight. This is me being awkward because I'm very excited. Have a great day. Thanks. So that was cool.
If you're listening to the audio version of this, James is having problems again. Elon Musk, fuck you. His Starlink is not working correctly, and he might not be able to join us back. He's having some issues with his internet. So maybe we'll wrap on these stories, but we'll keep going. Yeah, I'm not in any rush, but
Okay.
go ahead. Douglas,
Just a
you got
gentle
one?
correction. Not Olympic gold medalist, 2-time world champion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, to be clear. See, this is why I like this show.
Word.
Everybody's fact based.
Yeah, very honest. I'm trying to think of anybody else I might have met that was exciting and I had a good time with.
I'm trying to think of the stories that you've told me that I've always, because get this, Ashley's 10 years younger than me, and I used to work in the business, and she's been to at least 10 times more shows than I have. That's the funny part. Like, and I had access. I could go anytime I wanted to, as long as it was part of the production company that I was a part of. Even if I wasn't working, I would just make a call and be like, "Hey, I'm coming. I'm bringing. Here's my list," and I could bring as many friends as I wanted to, and we would have a table or we would have a section. We can hang out backstage. We do whatever we want. I meet my wife, and holy fuck, doesn't she? Oh yeah, I watched them 3 times. I saw them 6 times. I've been to their concerts. Every time something came on the radio, I'm like, "Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" One of those, right?
Yeah.
All right, Douglas. I saw Douglas have a moment there, and he's got one.
What you got?
Yes, I forgot. I'm noticing. I'm realizing that the famous people I've met or that I meet are athletes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
Are
wrong with
athletes.
I'm here for that.
We were
like actual raw talent people. Look at that. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
2 tennis ones. This is gonna sound. I'm sorry. This is gonna sound so damn bougie. I'm at the French Open.
Of course
Yeah,
you
you
are.
are.
Of course you
Yeah,
are.
of course I Now, mind you that this is after like the absolute the worst breakup of my life. So I'm at the French Open just because I've
Putting it
decided
out there.
the French Open is happening on my birthday. I'm going to Paris. I'm watching live tennis, and I'm having a fucking duck on my birthday.
Hell yeah.
This
Duck à l'orange, baby.
This
Want some
relationship
foie gras.
was the frickin' bits. So I'm treating myself. So that's the context. So I'm
Okay.
in there like this. I'm there for the qualification tournament. I'm watching all of it like this, and I'm moving around like this. And there's this guy named Benoit Paire who's playing,
Okay.
and I'm watching him, and it's like I've never heard of this guy, never seen him, but he's playing a really, really exciting brand of tennis. Like he's just like smacking the stuffing out of it like this. And sometimes they are flying far. Sometimes they are flying just far and out, like just completely unruly. But the ones that are bouncing in, they are freaking beautiful.
Was he
Just
dreamy too?
Gorgeous, right?
Ooh.
Was he dreamy?
Pretty good looking.
All right.
Yeah, so it's like not not like.
See, I'm not a
Ryan
tennis guy, so I'm just trying to find something to grasp
But
onto.
he's got
understand.
the tall, lanky sort of tennis thing, right? Because of course he's French, you know.
Of course.
So he's playing. I watch his first match, and I'm thinking like this. I need to okay, him. I'm going to go watch again because that was just some really freaking great tennis.
Cool.
So I'm watching the second match like this, and it's again just fantastic. And then there's this reporter from French television that's in there like this and is asking all these people, you know, like this, well, who do you think is going to win this year? Who do you think is going to win this year? And right before it started, there was this French woman named Alizé Cornet, like this, who had just won her first title somewhere. So everybody was going like this, oh, will she come out of the nowhere and like win the French Open this year? And they're turning around like this. I'm listening to them talk, and I'm going like this. You know, if you'd like the opinion from somebody who's not from France who can speak French, you know, I'd be happy to give you one.
Oh, look at you showing off.
Like this.
Nice.
So they're asking like this whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like chatting away like this. And says, "Is there anyone locally?" And I'm saying, "Keep your eyes out for Benoit Paire, because this guy's like just the most exciting brand of tennis. He's an up and comer. He's going to have something like this. I've not seen
the
this
guy.
with it.
Yeah, that's the guy. Bee's knees.
Yeah, something's going to happen with him. So I go to the second match like this, and I'm cheering like this, and he's playing against this guy from Mexico like this, and he's cursing, and he's swearing, and he's cursing, and he's swearing because it's like one of these matches where it's like
and cursing and swearing.
And smashing the racket, and, you know,
Oh no!
Like this. But it's this thing, right? Like this, like he's plays like 2 great points and then like 3 terrible ones.
Okay,
like this. But the 2 great points he plays is like the other person's playing like 2 terrible points and then plays 3 great ones. And like it's just like that. Like nobody can just get an edge like this, and it's tied all the way like this, and he's screaming, yelling, and I'm sitting there and I'm yelling. It's like, stop getting mad. He's not doing much better.
It's like a John McEnroe kind of like vibe from him,
like this, you know, and you know, and I was cheering, yeah, but you know, like this. So after the match, he spotted me and like threw me his wristband.
Oh.
Like this, after when the match was over and he finally won, he pulled him off like this. He threw his wristband to me. So I have his wristband that he played, that he won his match.
Oh my God!
So I go to the back like this. Like he has it. He's like, because he's like, you know, the loser leaves the court first and winner stays on like this. He's talking to a couple people. So I go wait at the gate like this. I figure, okay, I got his armband like this. I'm gonna get his autograph.
Okay.
So I sit like this. We get it. I wait for everybody like to talk like this. I just sit there and I just stand there and I'm waiting like this. Finally, at the end, I get him like this, and he signs my autograph like this. And I said, thank you much. And I says, I gave an interview on the radio the other day, said that they needed to watch for you. So don't make a liar out of me.
Yeah, no shit.
And then I went and I watched his 3rd round match like this, because at the Grand Slams, you got to win 3 qualifying matches to make it into the main draw. He won it. He made the Grand Slam main draw ever, and eventually he rose to like to top 32 in the world.
He did that for you. Eventually, so you know,
hell yeah,
it was for you.
He didn't make a life. And you know what I found out later?
What?
We have well, not the same year, but our birth dates are the same.
Oh, nice.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. So that was the first one. The second one is I was at the Canadian Open in Montreal.
Okay.
And there was a young tennis player from the UK called Naomi Brody. Her brother's still playing. His name is Liam. She was playing on the side courts, so you're really, really close on the side courts. She could serve a ball, I think, at like 142 kilometers an hour.
Damn.
Okay, that's really fast.
That's really fast.
Like really fast. Like that's
terrifying.
Faster than a fucking baseball.
Yeah.
Yes. Because women, I see often like 112, 113, 114, so some maybe in the 120s like this, but she was, or sorry, no, not 140, sorry, 124.
Okay.
Sorry, as opposed to 110 like this. But I was just like watching that, and they were just like, shoom, just going. was
No way.
incredible. Like this, and I was there with my Beaver Suite like this, and we were just like latched onto her. So it's like no matter what, like this, we are cheering for her because she is
Yeah.
just like this, and it's the small cart, so it's like Naomi go like this, and we're cheering, like, and it's like at most we are like 30 feet away.
Yeah.
Right, or at one point when she's on her side like this and she's serving, yes, and we're cheering whatnot like this, and she gets through the match whatnot like this, and we go see her, and we get her autograph as well after that, and I think it was it, and then we saw her second match. There's only two matches, so I can't remember how we saw her again, but somewhere along the way, her coach found us. No, it was after the first match. Her coach found us. And said, she's playing the next round, and she's playing on the not stadium court, but it's court 1, so a major court. And she's playing like the number 3. No. We saw her second match in qualifying, and she'd qualified for the main draw.
Oh, okay.
Like this. So it's after the second match, the coach came to saw us and said she was going to play the number 3 seed in the world that was there, Caroline Garcia, on the main ground. And she was getting ready to play for it. It was going to be the biggest match she had ever played in her entire life. And they found us, and they gave us tickets courtside.
Get out.
Hot
Like that's not in the box, but down like
but courtside. Yeah.
right on the court. Yeah.
Jesus.
Like this.
How was that?
Like this, it was freaking amazing.
Did you get to meet her or?
Yes, we got to meet her. She gave us her towel
autograph.
Oh,
like this,
wow.
her towel and autograph and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. And we got tickets. Like this is like if
That's
you would like, please come and
glorious.
cheer. And we
That's
did.
so cool.
And she got so screwed.
What happened?
Why?
No, sorry, she was not supposed to. Sir, she was not supposed to play the number 3. She was supposed to play someone else, and that person had to withdraw because of injury.
Oh no.
So what happened is that she got. They have something called lucky loser, so they bring someone in from the qualification like this that goes in there, but because then somebody else to pull out, she got moved someplace else in the draw, and then all of a sudden she was playing the number 3 rather than what she was supposed to play. So she
That's
had
not
all
fair.
geared up, and she found out like about an hour before her match.
That's not fair.
And that she was not going to be on a certain court anymore, the big court that she was and all that kind of stuff. So it was just
awful.
like, yeah. So she
That's not fair.
yeah. So she was going to play the number 3, and she got bumped. And so
Screw tennis.
But it was all that kind of stuff. It's like when you say,
Rude.
okay, I've done my
Rude.
opposition research. We watched her play. Here are our weaknesses. We did a whole training session for this. We like this. You're going to be on the court number 1, and it's like, oh no, you're no longer playing number 3. Now you're playing 42. So we're bumping you back down onto a side court, and you're just like, and it's just like, oh come on.
See, I don't get hot and bothered about tennis, but everybody I know in my fucking life that is like over the age of 40 now is playing pickleball.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Is that is that the same thing? I don't even know what pickleball is. Is pickleball like tennis?
No.
It's just with a bigger racket or something?
It has
Lower.
elements of it. No, it has a plastic ball that has holes in it.
Oh.
So it travels.
It's not as fast.
It's not as fast. The court is much smaller like this, and they are wooden paddles like this. And
wooden? So there's not like a mesh?
Well, they could be plastic.
Oh
I guess, or like
What
this,
is
but
it?
There's no not mesh. They're solid paddles.
It's like real life, like table tennis, but in like real life form.
Yeah, but you
Is that what
run.
this
I'm
is?
sorry, I was
So that's
stuck
what
with paddles.
that's what I mean. It's a combination of all those.
Oh
things.
shit!
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So,
Yeah,
it's a court that you can move around on.
Yeah.
It's smaller than a tennis court. It's like a ping pong paddle, except I think it's a little bigger, and the ball
So
has
it's
holes
like
so the air can carry it. So it
giant
moves
table
fast
tennis.
enough, but not like a tennis ball.
So like giant table tennis. It's like badminton, but on a small tennis
Small
court.
tennis
Tim
court,
McCaffrey in the comments said,
Yeah.
"Okay, all right, I get it."
Except the net
I like
isn't high
badminton.
like in badminton.
Yeah, it's like a tennis.
It's a lower net.
right? Same idea as tennis. Is it the same like net sort of thing, or
That I don't know. I haven't had a chance to play.
I've
against
never
I don't
even
know-
seen
don't
it.
know-
I
don't know
keep
if it's
hearing
at the
about
same
it.
height. Yeah, I don't know. If
So
it's at the
it's
same height.
tennis for fat guys, is what it is. Is that everybody's? It's just tennis for fat dudes like me.
All
Like I
right,
could
yeah,
I
can
could
get
play
down
this.
with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
For a few minutes at least.
Before we go, I have to get back to Wade. Wade Polloway put a thing in there earlier today about Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
I have to tell the Joe Walsh story.
You absolutely do, yes.
I don't tell this.
Just petting the dog.
I always forget. No, he's sleeping. Leave him alone. He's fine.
No, I just mean
Please.
when you see me down there.
Yeah.
Don't be alarmed.
So we were doing it was a one and done, and it sucks because it was like one of the best festivals that we had ever been a part of. And it was in Owen Sound in Ontario, and it was like on the bay. It was beautiful. It was great. The actual, it was, they called it the Sound Grove Music Festival because it was literally in like almost like a pit. So the acoustics of it was like a bowl, but it was a natural bowl. So the sound was just perfect. And we were talking like big names. We had Alice Cooper that year. We had Joe Walsh. We had,
Alice Cooper's my birthday buddy.
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. But the one, we had CCR, but it was Creedence Clearwater Revisited because, what's his name isn't part of it. John Fogerty isn't part of it anymore. It's his brother, right? So,
Right.
but still, fantastic show. So I knew that Joe Walsh was coming, and that was my bucket list for that show. And I'm like, I don't fangirl while I'm working. I try not to, at least. But that one, I don't care. I will be totally indignant and go and see Joe Walsh and be that guy. So when it came to, there was a detail that had to be to escort Joe Walsh to the stage from the VIP up to the stage. I said, I'm heading that, everybody, just so you guys know. We had 60 staff members, and I'm just like, yeah, no, everybody sit down. This is mine. You guys can have anybody else that's here. And there was a lot of good ones. Blue Oyster Cult was there, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic band live, everybody.
Yeah.
So I go to meet Joe Walsh, and I'm literally shaking. Like I'm shitting my pants. It's Joe fucking Walsh, okay?
Right.
And what I love about Joe Walsh being the absolute mega star that he is, he can read a person like that. He can read you immediately. And he could sense my energy, like that I was, yes, I'm there to do a job, but he knew that I was starstruck.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walked up to him and I just said to him, I said, "Hi, Mr. Walsh. My name's Ryan. I'm part of the security detail here. I will be the one that's taking," and he stopped me in my tracks. And he said, "You like my hat?" He's wearing this hat, this leather cowboy Stetson-y kind of like floppy. It's weathered. It's like an old
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, like a Crocodile Dundee hat.
Right.
He stopped me, and I just like, "What do you say?" "Of course I like your hat. Your hat's fucking great. It's the coolest hat
I've ever
You
seen.
could be wearing a fucking beaver lumber fucking mesh ball cap, and I'd say it's the best hat I've ever seen in my entire life, Mr. Walsh."
It's on your head.
He says, "You know who gave me this hat?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "Stevie Ray Vaughan gave me this hat 30 years ago." And he pulled the hat off his head, and he showed me Stevie Ray Vaughan had signed the inside of the hat. He said, "When I met Stevie Ray Vaughan," he said, "I look just like you right now." And he put his hand out. He said, "My name's Joe. What's your name again?" I said, "It's Ryan." This is fucking Ryan. Nice to meet you, man. He says, "We're going to have a good time tonight, right?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." He goes, "It's Joe." I'm like, "All right, Joe." He goes, "That's better." He goes, "Let's fucking rock on. Let's have a good night." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yes,
let's
sir.
do it, man." 100%. And totally disarmed everything. He totally brought the entire thing and there was 40 people standing around us when this was going on. It's like if there was a camera watching, it would have been like, what happens next? Watch what happens live,
Right.
And I became Joe Walsh's best friend in that moment, and that's the way he made you feel that way. He made you feel like you were his best friend.
You got a friend in me.
Such a good dude, just a genuine nice guy. And then didn't he go on and play the fucking show of his life?
Nice.
Didn't miss a fucking note. And I was part of the stage detail that night. I said,
Nice.
I'm going to be there, and I will be center stage. All the other guys are watching the crowd to make sure they're not doing anything stupid. I'm watching the show. I don't care. I'm in charge. I'm your boss. Fucking, you can't say anything. I'm watching the show.
Fight me.
And then at the end, I walked Joe Walsh back to his thing, and we chatted. He, again, another one that was sober. David Wilcox was the same way. I didn't know he was sober. I didn't know Wilcox was sober at the time. The only Wilcox I remember was Lulu's in Kitchener here in Ontario.
Yes.
Used to play to the point where he would go up with a bottle of Jack Daniels at the beginning of his set, a 40-ouncer, and it would be gone by the end of the night, and he would not miss a note.
Damn. That
That was the guy I knew. So when I said I want to have a beer with David Wilcox, and this was at Dunville, his guitarist or his bassist is the guy that leads him on and off the stage now because he's blind. He's like legally blind now. The only thing he can see is stage lights. And he goes, Joe, he'll probably have a Coke with you, but you're not going to get him to drink a beer. He's been sober for what? I'm like, I didn't even know. So I went in, I had a Diet Coke with David Wilcox, and we just chatted. We just chatted shop. And it was really nice, right? And again, another guy that wouldn't miss a note, and he would get let up, and he would know where to go on stage. His color patterns of the lights on the stage are specific for him,
Right.
because he needs to know where he's going to go, because he does still move on stage,
Right.
but he can't see a goddamn thing. So yeah, it's fun. We brought it up earlier with James. He said, "Don't meet your heroes." Sometimes, and it's true. Like a lot of the times, it's a don't meet your heroes kind of scenario.
Mhm.
But when you do meet them and they just turn out to be better than you thought,
Yeah.
what a cool thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when I hear "Life is Good" by Joe Walsh now, it hits extra special for me.
Absolutely.
And it gets cranked. It's like, that guy, that's my guy, So
Absolutely.
I got a picture. James sent me an email.
Okay.
He sent me an email while we're talking about celebrity encounters. Here we go. He sent me a picture.
Oh my God, Julia Lewis.
Yeah. There she is.
Nice.
And they look like they're having a pretty grand time.
I would have to agree.
That doesn't look like
Yes.
just like, hey, can I take a picture with you? That looks like we've been in conversation for a little bit. I could just imagine the horrible things he said to her. And
This guy's hilarious.
but she seems like somebody that would take it in stride, right? So
Very nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
yeah, it's
Great
great.
energy.
Yeah.
Love it.
So I don't know the story behind it. James, if you're still in the comments, maybe you can reiterate the story of it for the folks. But I think that's a show, though, don't you guys?
Absolutely.
agree.
Yeah, I think this was a good one.
It's a lovely evening.
It's
Yeah,
been
it really
a
was.
good
It was
one.
a lot of fun. Nobody had to flip any tables. It was great.
No.
Hey.
No, apparently James left on time.
No, that's
I
this
didn't
was
have
fun.
to bring out dad voice.
Yeah,
Shit.
right?
You know what? I don't know if I have. I got to see if I've got. I do. I've got the. I think I have the outro somewhere here.
Oh, nice.
I think I've got it.
That
That's
would
the
be
intro.
Sweet.
Red
Do I
carpet
have the
interview
outro?
at the Calgary Stampede. James says it was a red carpet interview at the Calgary Stampede.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Sounds pretty Jamesy.
So it was a good time. I'm sure. Yeah, I don't have the outro to the show.
We got
No.
no.
So
Oh,
you know
no.
what we're gonna do? We're gonna dance our way out of this one.
Okay.
Let's find something. Let's do that.
Okay, let's go.
Ready?
Boogie oogie 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 dancing shoes.
For Blackballed Casual Friday,
Do, 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 do.
my beautiful wife, Ashley Lindley, my beautiful network wife, Douglas Connors, from the True North Eager Beaver podcast, which you can catch every single weekday morning on YouTube. If you go and search out True North Eager Beaver podcast, he does a fantastic job. Him, Mr. Bear, Mr. Grizzly, Mr.
Grizzly.
Beaver. If you're novice in politics or if you're seasoned, I'll guarantee you there is something there for you. So check it out every weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out their podcasts. You can also download them everywhere you get your fine podcasts, including this podcast. I'm Ryan Lindley, and it was great to see you guys. So I'm going to just, you know what? This is from old Getting
Let's
Sauced, the radio show. Let's find something here, okay?
Do it up.
Let's
All right.
dance.
Oh, that's dirty. I don't like that one. Let's
Okay.
get this one. Let's try it. It's a little dirtier. That's better. For a casual Friday on a Saturday, which is now turned into a Sunday.
Oh no.
Ooh, we're wild. We're wild. There's no rules
Ryan
here.
and Lee
There's no
for-
rules here.
No. No. We
Thanks
make
for
We
our
do our
own.
own
Gorgeous.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always chaos.
Yeah.
We make the law.
Anybody want to swear?
What the fuck?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, see? Douglas said, what the heck?
I mean, good night.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.